Hello and welcome to the show. Today on the All Red Everything podcast, I am chilling in the shed / workshop of Ally Mayhem.
It's me.
Ally, thank you so much for making time and inviting us into your space.
That's okay, anytime.
It's really cool because we've previously chatted with your husband.
Yeah.
So Grant has been on the show and then got to know you along the way and gone, geez, I think we really need to be chatting to you because you do a whole lot of cool things. And, well, that's kind of what the show's all about.
Yeah. Well, I try to do cool things.
I think you do very cool things because, well, look, first and foremost, you're a mum as well.
Yep.
So you've got little humans under your care, but you're not sort of the Tarago driving mum, are you?
No.
Not really the...
No Taragos yet.
No Tarago, no family or people mover. We're kind of surrounded, and for those listening with their eyes, you might see... Do you want to explain for people what's sitting behind us, just in case they're not watching?
So I have the S13 Drift Build behind us. I have the S15 street car just to the right of us, and I have the JZX 100 sitting next to the street car.
And the JZX 100 is one of the more tidy drift cars.
Yes.
And we're commenting just before we sat down, having come back from Ibisu Matsuri, which is just Missile Mayhem, that would be like the best presented car anyone had ever seen over at Missile Mayhem.
Thank you.
So people give, I think we all give ourselves a hard time when we keep talking about lifting the standard of drifting in Australia.
Yeah.
And go, man, I've seen the standard in Japan, and like it's totally cool, and like dig it, and everyone do their own thing. But, whew, our standards here are actually pretty good.
There's definitely some nice cars here. The Chasers, I'm biased. The Chaser's one of my favourites, but even like Hawk in his 180, insane. The Thrash House cars, insane. Like looking at half the cars that were out of Matsuri, they were beautiful.
That's the thing that really stood out to me at Queensland Drift Matsuri was the presentation, like the very high standard of like good looking, wide body, slammed, painted, presented, like beautiful drift cars.
Yeah. And all running beautifully, honestly.
And actually working. And yours having Toyota reliability, like you pop the bonnet because you have to. It's the rules. And it's just got the tidiest 1J and making, 5 something?
Yeah. So it's got a Nitto built forged 1J. It's running like 550 at the wheels.
Solid.
Yeah. It is such a reliable car.
And it looks it. I think that's the thing. That thing has a presence to it. And then to know that it's also reliable and unreal to drive.
Yeah.
That's somewhere near perfect drift car, isn't it?
It is. I love that.
Because you can just get in and send it.
Yeah. And especially like big shout out to John at Endless for his tuning capabilities. I can hang that car off limiter all day. Touch wood. And it just works.
Mate, Toyota.
Yeah.
Toyota things. These fucking Nissans, mate. These
Hey.
RBs here. I'm like, RB, why bother?
It's a J.
J? Well, I'll just give myself a clip around the ears. What did I think?
I'm getting, it's just because it's got the Yaris coil packs in the middle and the valve cover off.
You tricked me.
Yeah,
Tricked me.
sneaky.
I'm actually just not very bright. I just don't know. I think I also have bad nightmares about RBs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I did not.
So basically, I am copy pasting the setup in the JZX and putting it into the Sylvia. So it'll be lighter, shorter wheelbase.
Oof.
Yep.
Spicy car.
Yeah, and the only difference is the JZX has a forged R154. The 13 is starting off with a T56, and then I will eventually go up to a sequential.
So this one is a comp car, the 13,
Yeah,
sort of, kind of, maybe.
I'll probably put in some comps when I get confident in driving it. Because that'll be the thing. It's a ground up build, so I'm assuming there's going to be some teething along the lines. But yeah, I think I'm creating a monster with it because I was building it as a seat time car, and the more and more I build it, the more I like it.
It's a good looking car. And again, tell us a story about these deep dish wheels.
Yeah, so I've got 18 by 11 and a half neg 7s, I think it is. And I've got some 1812 neg 0s. These rear ones have 6-inch of lip and the fronts are 4-inch lip. I bought them really bad offsets and I got them rebuilt, and I've got many other sets in the shed to run in the same sizes. So I've just got a full lineup of Serb 2s and Vienna Courages ready to go in that offset.
Because they are proper spicy wheels.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're can holders.
They are can holders, small children, small animals. And you told me as well that you went for the widest wide body you could sort of get your hands on without getting out of control.
Absolutely. So I did a lot of research. I called a lot of places and was quite annoying because I thought I found some kits that were 110 mil when in fact they were just 55 a side. So I went with the Origin 75 mil Driftline wide body. So I've got the Driftline kit and the 75 mil overs front and rear just to fit everything in.
Every car needs wide body.
Yes.
I cannot think of a car that doesn't look better once you're just like slammed and pumped.
And then I got one of the biggest BCLs I could get without going carbon fibre because they didn't have stock in Australia when I was looking to try and offset my wide body too.
And the other thing I notice is you really don't like longevity in your kits either, because you've like added additional ground catches off the front and back. What are the little lips that you've put on there?
I've got the under panel canard kit as well. Yeah,
'Cause I noticed-
make it a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I noticed you've got the same thing on the Chaser as well, and it like extra spicy. But given I now attach my Falcon's front bar with zip ties, and it's a street car, because it munches. If you forget and you drive in front first, and you hit one of those little block things, and
Yep.
see you later, mate.
But it looks good.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
It's
Like,
worth it.
It would cut children in half, and that's why ADR doesn't like it. But man, stuff them. If they're walking in front of the car, that's their fault, because that looks unbelievable, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's fiberglass. Like, if your child's not stronger than fiberglass, I'm going to
Absolutely.
be asking some questions.
We need carbon fibre children.
We need sturdy kids.
Yeah, we do need sturdy kids. Couple of bumps. We used to get thrown in the back of utes and driven around with no seatbelts, and we came out all right. Didn't? Hang on. Maybe I should back up on that.
Yeah.
We came out a little bit wild. Ally, you are quite the artist as well, because you actually tattoo as well.
Yes. So I originally mechanic by trade and then went into tattooing over COVID. Worst time to start, but all the shops were shut. But I've always had a love of art, and I was thrown off. This is the substandard tattooer story. A teacher told me I'd never make anything out of art, funnily enough. And I just assumed it was going to be like one of those rock star jobs where you had to be born into it. I didn't know how to start, like how to get an apprenticeship. And I just kept drawing and did piercing qualifications and got my foot in a door of a tattoo parlor doing piercings, and then started an apprenticeship. Again, during COVID, shops shut. So then we ended up moving back to Queensland, where I got a job at another shop. And funnily enough, I applied for an apprenticeship there, and then they asked me to come in and have a chat. And I messaged back and I was like, hey, I actually had a look at your shop and you guys do really good tattoos there. And I can't draw like that, so I'm probably not going to come for a chat now. And he's like, can you just come in? Because that's kind of funny. Everyone's begging us for a job and you're like, no, don't hire me. And I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, I ended up working there for a few years. They were really awesome. And yeah.
How good's the side quest? That's an epic. Wow. Okay. So what we probably need to do is what I always like to do and go back. Where were you born? Where are you from?
I am from Ballina. So
From Ballina?
Yeah, born and raised in Ballina. I was there until I was about 21. I started my mechanic apprenticeship down there.
You coasty kid, surf kid?
Yeah, I love the beach, love the water. I love fishing. Pretty much grew up on the water. But
Be hard not to.
yeah.
That's God's country down there. Like,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, I remember like swimming across the bar and everything down there and not being afraid of sharks, which is crazy because I think we had the shark attack capital of Australia was there for a while. But yeah.
Right
no.
next to the Tidy Town sign, you go, Tidy Town, Shark Attack Capital of Australia. I actually want to see that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But it was great. I've actually said recently, because I go back to visit every now and then, I get homesick for the town that's no longer there.
Gotcha.
Because it's
Yep.
being developed, it's blowing out, it's turning into a little Gold Coast.
It's not what you remember. It's not the simple
No.
town with the takeaway shop and the...
Yeah, $6 worth
Fibre
of chips, sit down by
houses.
the river with my family and eat them, like
Yeah.
walk to school with no issues.
There's
And-
pricks from Byron in G-Wagons and white linen. You're like, fuck off.
Without offending anyone, I refuse to say anything.
That's all right. I can
No
do
comment.
that. That's my job. But I understand completely what you're saying. It's just lost a bit of that simple charm.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a great place to grow up. Again, I feel very safe. Like everyone was a don't come home until the street lights are on type scenario. We had the same house until mum and dad rented the same house from the day I was born till I was about 18.
Wow.
Yep.
So very consistent.
Yeah.
Very consistent.
Yeah.
And where did you go to school? Where was primary?
So I went Ballina Primary and Ballina High School.
How
Just
was
state
Ballina
schools.
Primary? Tell me about that.
Yeah. Standard country state school, really.
Is it a lot of kids? Is it like a couple of hundred or?
I remember back then, I think there was like 3 schools in the town. Well, 3 schools that I knew of. There was the state school, which I went to, a Christian college and a Catholic college, and that was it. And 2 were next to each other, and the one was out on the skirts of town. And that was it. You're either in blue or yellow. There was
Really?
and there was one more state school, which was a K to 12. But again, that was like on the other side of town. And yeah, it was just like everyone knew everyone. Everyone knew each other's families. We all have siblings in everyone's years. So it was good, but it was also like, especially in high school, I couldn't do anything without my brothers knowing.
That makes it difficult. So how many kids in the family?
So I am the youngest of 4 kids and the only girl.
Yikes.
Yep.
So growing up with 3 older brothers in Ballina where everybody knew each other.
Yep.
No pressure.
And also my mum's one of 9 kids, so all my
Oh my
cousins
God.
were around.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's
It was-
insane.
Yeah, it was like I'm pretty much related to half the town.
The sheer volume of humans that you'd have to see at Christmas that would all know everything.
Oh, yep.
Mate.
Yep. It was like, yeah, that's it. Everyone knows everyone though. And it still makes me laugh though, having 3 big brothers, and then mum's like, oh, I thought you'd grow up to be a nurse and, white picket fence. I was like, really?
You got, mate, I don't know. I'm seeing the dream right here. I would suggest that you have, this is our idea of white picket fence. You
Yeah.
go, what do you need a fucking white picket fence for when you've got sweet cars and
We've
room
got-
for a trailer?
Drift cars. But yeah, that was it.
Okay, but as a kid in school, because I'm always fascinated about this,
Mm-hmm.
how were you in primary school? Were you into it? Did you love it? Did you?
I love school, but I get extremely bored when I'm not mentally challenged. So all of my report cards from the day I can remember all look the same, and it's extremely bright, Does great things if she applies herself, extremely talkative and easily distracted.
If only they could apply themselves. I reckon we need to get that framed.
Yeah.
That's a T-shirt right there, isn't it? If only I could apply myself.
Yeah. But also, I found it hard at school with some stuff, especially when it comes to art, because it's very much like I knew what I wanted to draw or I knew what I wanted to do. But it's like, no, you have to fit in this box. You have to make this mug out of clay. That's what we're doing. You can't do what you want.
Which is the total opposite to everything that art stands for.
Yeah. Even with English and creative writing, they'd always tell me how good my writing was. I remember entering comps, like poetry comps and creative writing competitions from primary school up. But then it's like, oh, you need to include more vowels or more adjectives. And I'm like, they're just words. I'm just putting down what's in my brain. And I also, even though I'm a tattooist, I stand by the fact I have probably the worst handwriting you've ever seen. But
Really?
if you see the script I tattoo, 2 different people.
Really? Mm-hmm. How mad is that? Like,
It's because when I tattoo, I'm focused, but when I'm writing, my brain starts going quicker than what my hand is and I jumble my words.
gotcha.
And everyone always laughs at me about my handwriting, and I find myself constantly explaining to people, I can tattoo neater than I can do this, I promise.
Now, I hope I'm not getting this wrong, but you shared something yesterday, I think, that was one of your favourite script things that you've ever made.
Yep.
Would you mind describing that?
So
Because that was hectic.
yeah, it looks like a magic eye
Oh my
puzzle.
God, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh God, my eyes broke. But I'm like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. And I'm like zooming in and trying to see I'm like, that's fucking incredible.
Yep. So I've done a few of them now, but that's one of my favorites. I have a word, but then I kind of double or triple the stencil and do it in different gradients, so it looks like the word is moving or shaking, and the word looks blurry.
Hectic.
But it is clean.
I've never seen anything like that. Like the lines are razor sharp,
Yep.
but it looks like it's like floating or moving.
And it's funny because it's actually really hard to get photos of those tattoos
I'll
because the
bet.
cameras won't pick it up. The camera thinks it's glitching and it
like,
tries to constantly
compensates or something.
focus. Yeah, and it
Yeah,
almost
wow.
unfocuses because it's trying to focus.
Because that was honestly amazing when I
Thank
looked
you.
at that. Like that is true artistry, and these are the things that I've found drawn to as an adult. Because much the same as you.
Yeah.
Like my understanding of art was art can be good, but must be done like this.
Well,
And
I've
you're like,
even done some
"Fuck."
really cool, like the old 3D red and blue with the black crossover. I've even done tattoos like that, and
Hell yeah,
I just love stuff that I find challenging.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So that was your experience, and in particular, like in primary school, were there some of the subjects that stood out to you that you enjoyed, that you were drawn to?
Again, loved art, loved creative writing, just kind of anything I could not be as structured in, I guess. Like it's like I have all this stuff in my brain that I want to get out, and I just
Don't know how.
Yeah.
And then you find stuff and you go, oh, that one. Ooh.
yeah. And that was, I think, a big thing growing up. I was kind of like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just do what everyone else is doing?
Can I just do this?
Yeah, so even still, like, down the margins of all my pages were just little pictures, little scribbles here and there of, like, little stories. I used to make flip books with the corners of all my books.
Oh my God, I made so many flip books
Yeah.
when I learned how to do that. And I do like hundreds of pages.
Yeah.
I've seen it in my little dude too. He
Yeah.
does the most intricate little drawings. And when we were in Japan, I bought 2 mechanical pencils.
Yep.
And I found ones with like nice soft grip and a neutral colour. And I'm like, oh, I think he'll really vibe with
It's
this.
a nice pencil.
Because he loves doing these tiny little detailed ones.
Yeah.
And gave it to him and he's like, oh, it feels a bit weird. And then he's like, I'm like, yo, you'll be able to do extra detail. And he's like, oh, wow.
Well, fun thing, I've actually been doing a lot of work with my son's OT at the moment with actually fine-tuning details with hand motor skills. And that's one of the things we were talking with is different grips to get better control so you can do the smaller details. And either really big pens or really small pens.
That's very cool to know
Yeah.
because he has trouble with his grip that hurts his hand.
Yep.
So dyslexia, dyscalculia, all the disses.
Well, same with me. So again, when I'm writing, like when I'm just scribbling, my hand cramps. When I'm
Yeah.
tattooing, I can tattoo hours and hours, days on end. But I have noticed too, when I'm drawing, because I do a lot of pencil
Yeah,
drawing.
sketching.
Yeah. I wrap my pencils so they're thicker so I can hold it for longer without my hands getting sore.
That's crazy, hey?
Yeah.
And these modifications to make
Yeah.
it better. Because going into high school, because I always find that that's a really interesting time, you know, as a young human trying to fit into the things but express yourself at the same time. Did you, pick a couple of electives and those sorts of
Yeah.
things? Or
So going
they?
through high school, my electives were usually around art, music, again, more creative. But I actually went to Ballina High School because I really wanted to do marine biology and marine
Really?
conservation. And they have a marine biology centre there. And you can do your boat license there. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
That is the coolest.
Yeah, and I didn't get it as an elective. I chose it as an elective and I got put into like art and music again. And I was like, oh.
Do you think you would have wanted to pursue that seriously? Like, is that
Yeah, that was definitely one of, like, going into school again, you're kind of 16 trying to choose your whole life path. And yeah, I was 100%, I loved science. I thought that was it. Like, that was my favorite lesson. I never wanted to miss science. And I actually got offered a scholarship for science to stay in school. But when I didn't get in as an elective in year 10, and again, getting put into art, but then getting told you're never going to make anything of art. And it's like, oh, okay, so what am I doing here? So that's when I finished year 10 at school and went and tried some different jobs to see what I liked.
Because before we jump into that, you also said, so art, we've covered a little bit, but music.
Yeah, yep.
Talk me through that.
I love music. Funnily enough, I struggle with rhythm.
Really?
Yeah, I always wanted to learn how to play drums, but I have really bad coordination with my left and my right hand. But I can play clarinet, and I like singing, and probably have a shit singing voice now, so don't ask. But I remember from primary school up, I was always in the choir. I was always doing the Eisteddfods. I was up on stage, confident as heck, singing solos. And now I'm like, I'm going to say hello to someone and probably, absolutely butcher my sentence. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there was a whole world there as well.
Yeah, absolutely love music. But again, the teachers are like, it's really hard to make a life out of music. So
Look, they're not wrong.
yeah.
That's a brutal career. I actually can't argue with them on that. So grade 10,
Yeah.
is that you decided that you'd just go, nah, not really for me, school?
Yeah, so basically my parents just said, look, it's learn or earn. If you don't want to be at school, that's fine, but go get a job then. And I was like, all right.
Righto. So what did you try first?
Hospitality.
Oh, okay.
I love cooking, and I was like, I love cooking. I love being in a kitchen. I'll go do that. Yeah, that's not for the weak.
I was going to say, you went and met the happiest people you've ever met.
Yep. And
yikes.
yeah, if you haven't been able to tell by now, I'm obviously spicy brained. I see the world a bit different. So I remember one boss in hospitality is like, we need this structure and you're just not doing it. And I was like, I'm trying. I'm really trying. She goes, I know, you're a really nice person to work with. You do a really good job. But she goes, you kind of get distracted and you kind of like, go off on these side quests and I was like, I don't know why my brain does that. And yeah, so at one stage there, I went to the doctor. I was like, I think I've got anxiety or something. I don't know why my brain's doing this. And he looked at me and goes, yep, we'll put you on anti-anxiety medicine then. That'll fix that. And I was like, okay. Tried that for a little while, hated that. So he goes, you know what? We'll try antidepressants. That'll fix that right up. And I was like, okay, tried that, hated that. I was like, I feel like a shell of a human now at 16 or 17.
And it's horrifying that that story is one I must have heard 100 times.
Yeah. And up until adult life, that was it. Every time I went to the doctor to try and talk to him about something, it's, well, they're your options. Any anxiety or any depressants. Which one do you want?
Far out.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Because that's a hell of a time of life as well. Like, as a teenager, so you're 15, 16, that sort of age, working with adults, looking to, again, make your way through.
Yeah.
Where did you go after the hospitality? What did you try next?
So hospitality was a very big one for me. I stayed in that on and off for years, and even working multiple jobs at once. And I tried hairdressing, but I found it a lot of the socialness a bit tricky at times, because I was saying earlier, I can be brutally honest, and I don't say it in a way to hurt people's feelings, but it's probably not the best quality to have.
Blurts on out and you're like, wow, your hair looks shit. Like,
oh, I'm honest. I'm not rude, but I'm definitely, if some of the cattiness and stuff, I'm like,
you'd snap back at them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if you don't like that person, why don't you just go say it? Or, if you don't think that that's good, why are you telling them it looks good if you don't think that that's going to be good? I don't understand that.
Such is the problem with the brutal honesty that comes with said diagnoses.
Yeah, so after trying that and thinking, I liked it, but it's probably
not the right place.
Probably not for me.
No, I'm going to get stabbed.
Yeah. Also, being a massive perfectionist, I beat myself up if I haven't got it exactly how I want it to be.
Understood.
And, hair's one of those things
so difficult.
Yeah, and I just remember thinking like, I don't know if this is for me. So I went into horticulture, actually.
That's a natural progression. I mean,
hair,
hospitality. Hair,
I was running through the dictionary.
Well, except you got stuck at H.
Yeah. And horticulture,
wow, okay.
I worked in a wholesale nursery propagating magnolias.
That would be fascinating, though. I reckon that'd be unreal. That sounds like Spicy Brain side quest if ever I've heard one.
Yeah.
Like learning how to propagate and how to do all that properly, because that's super detailed work.
Yeah, so I actually did a whole apprenticeship with that.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I was happy at the nursery, but the nursery I worked at was like 3 people over 10 acres. So there was days where I'd, not really get to see anyone. And like a whole day with me by myself.
Too much time with your own thoughts?
Yeah. And it was really fun. I love the physical nature of that job too, because I'm someone that needs to burn energy. I'm not great at sitting in the one spot for like hours on end just typing away at a computer or something. So, love the physical nature of that job. Had a few run-ins with some Australian animals, which is always fun. Of spiders in my hats and getting chased by snakes and
Yikes.
Yeah, but it was all it was fun.
Tell me, what's the secret to excellent propagation?
Oh, temperature control.
Really? Is that what I'm fucking up?
Probably. Because there was points with our little baby plants that, so our cuttings, specifically with the magnolias, as soon as it would get to a certain temperature in summer, if we didn't have mist going constantly to try and keep the air cool, they just die. They'd burn and die.
And where do you measure the temperature? Is it ambient, soil? Where do you actually... Bit of both.
Yeah, but mainly because they were all in little cutting trays up above the ground, it was ambient.
Right. And what is the correct temperature for...
Definitely not 40 degrees.
I could believe that. That's not the right temperature for me either. Where do they land? What's sort of the happy...
Low 30s.
Yeah, okay.
Mid-20s to low 30s. That was like our optimal.
That's happy place.
As soon as it got kind of above 35, that's when they'd start to go brown. And
wow. Did you play music to them?
Yeah, we actually always had Triple J on.
That's amazing.
Shameless plug, but loved our DJ sets.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that. Did you ever A/B test the music? Did you ever go over to ABC Classic FM or just to
Not
try?
really. Triple J kept everyone happy.
Yeah, that kept it, even the plants. So happy.
Yeah.
Many happy plants. How many years were you there?
I don't know exactly, but it was, I want to say like 3.
Yeah, right.
Because it was an apprenticeship.
Yeah, decent chunk of time.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
it was awesome.
Because I'm trying to map together how old you might have been by that stage.
Oh, so I was 18 or 17. 17 through to 20.
Yeah, right.
Because I started mechanics when I was about 19, 20.
So that's where you went after.
Yeah, even my
Horticulture.
boss at the nursery said to my parents, he bumped into him one day and said her head was always with the spanners and not the sticks.
That's very insightful
Yeah.
for the horticulturalist.
Yeah. But my love of cars, like I have always loved cars, bikes, everything. I remember I found it really hard actually as a female growing up, and not to play the sex card, but I remember sitting at high school and I saw a R34 drive past and I was like, oh, that's beautiful. And I was like, one of my dream cars, you know, R32. And I was going on and on and on about all this stuff I've heard my brothers say and all the magazines I used to read. This is going to show my age, but magazines in the toilet.
Mate, we had a library at my parents' place. We had the little filing thing.
Yeah, and I remember reading about engines and I was like, I don't know what any of this means, but that looks sick. And I remember I went off on a tangent at school, sitting on the oval, and I looked around and out of a group of about 10 girls, one girl was listening to me. And because her dad was big on his cars, so she was like, yeah, like, this is what I want. And every other girl was like,
what are you talking about?
yeah. And it was at that moment that I felt so dumb for being smart. And I've had that so many times in my life where I'm like, I'm rattling off all this stuff that I've hyper-focused on and someone's just looking at me with this blank stare like,
Going, why?
yeah.
And you go, well, clearly you're not my people.
Yeah. But coming back to the magazines even, as a girl, I remember I would have been 8 or 9. And I was looking at this chick posing with the car and I was like, oh. And I remember I changed my outfit. My mom was like, what are you doing? Because I was like, I put knee-high socks on and I think I'd like cut my shorts or cut my skirt or something. So I was a bit shorter. And mom's just like, what are you doing? And I said, Mom, this chick in the magazine, she's so cool. Like, look at her car. And my mom's just gone, Ally, that's not her car. She's just a model. And I was like, oh, how do you know though? And she showed me another page that had the owner actually with his car. And I was like, oh. And looking back at it now, I was like, that generation, we really didn't have many female drivers to look up to as such. And it was just like, I remember then I was like, well, if I want to be a part of the car scene, I have to become a model. And I'm not built like a supermodel. I am short and I'm not the supermodel build. But I was like, you know, maybe I can do promo modeling. Maybe that's the way I get into cars. Because I honestly didn't know, as a smaller female, how I can be a part of the car scene or how I can be a part of cars. And I was like, I just want to learn about them. And my dad was really good at teaching me. He's a mechanic by trade, diesel mechanic, light vehicle mechanic. He does welding, hydraulics. And 2 of my brothers, one's a diesel mechanic, one's a light vehicle mechanic. But even still, that wasn't until later on. It was just this really weird time of, when I was about 10 to when I was maybe 15, 16, I was like, well, you know, I've got to get into promo modeling. I've got to look a certain way. I've got to just to be a part of cars. And now as an adult, thinking back at that, I was like, I've got to do something different. So girls don't think that the only way that they can be involved in something is based on their looks. because that's a dangerous place.
That's not a great place, and that's not something I'd ever pondered either. Like, as a young girl reading those and going, oh,
Yeah.
well, to get into this, that's what you do. You know, the guy, he built the car, and that's how she gets to be around this. I want to be around this.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, flicking through those magazines, again, I can't recall, and sorry if I have missed someone, but I can't recall many of those magazines in, like, your hot imports and your fast fours and stuff. I don't remember seeing many female-driven cars, so it was very... That's just my brain. It was like, okay, so, like, you got your grid girls, your promo models and stuff like that. Like, that just must be it for us.
Yeah, and especially at that time, I do recall fairly strongly, like, going to track stuff. It would just be all dudes.
Yep.
It would be super unusual for other women to be there, like back 00 type stuff. It would just, maybe somebody's wife, but generally people just stayed away.
Yeah.
Because it was just us weird dudes doing our weird dude driving stuff. Whereas, yeah, like even your auto salons and stuff, it was like people's girlfriends were there, but they were bored.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a big thing, and I guess there really weren't a lot of obvious pathways.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, in my hometown, I eventually got an apprenticeship in mechanics thanks to some awesome people, one being a gentleman named Aaron who I'd met through car meets. And I had expressed that I really wanted to be a mechanic, but I felt like I was getting laughed at half the time when I'd tell people. And he was like, well, I'm a supervisor down at the workshop. Bring your resume in. And I specifically left out my sex on the resume, and I put my name as Alex, not Ally, to pretend I was a male, so I could just get a look in. But there was actually one girl that was a mechanic at the same workshop before me, and I just idolized her at the time. I was like, she is so cool. Like, that's awesome. And again, it might be different for other kids that grow up in the city and stuff, but for a country kid, even my dad was like, you're gonna find it hard to get respect down here. And I've brought this up before and I've talked to you, but I feel like I went into it with the wrong attitude too, because I went into it like, it's me against the world. I'm here to prove a point. I am woman, hear me roar type thing. And I was like, no one gives a fuck, honestly. No one cares
Sweep
about
the floors.
that. Yeah,
First
literally.
year.
You want to impress me, work hard.
Yeah.
And
Do your job.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the more I just put my head down and worked, the more the guys were like, okay, she's serious about it. Yeah. I'm actually going to teach her more.
This isn't a fad or a phase of somebody just wanting to come in here and have a look. Like, because I think that's the big one with the apprenticeship, is if you just eat shit, because that is sort of the first thing, is going, this is hard, you need to do what you're told, and everything you need to do to the best of your ability, including shit jobs like sweeping the floor.
Yeah, so I actually laughed because I've done the horticulture apprenticeship, the mechanics apprenticeship, and a tattoo apprenticeship. I am a master floor sweeper now.
I was going to say, got to catch them all.
Yeah, but I can sweep and mop a floor.
Bloody bet you can. So I was going to say, this garage is immaculate.
I was cleaning the floor when you came. I was like, oh.
Now that you pointed it out, I'm like, oh, God, there's nothing out of place here.
And I've said this before too. I remember one of the funniest moments where I just absolutely ate my own words as an apprentice. I was a first year. And I just cleaned the floor, and one of the mechanics dripped like 2 drops of oil on the floor. And I looked at him and I was like, oh, I just finished cleaning the floor. Like, are you serious? And he just looked at me and pushed the oil drain away and dumped a heap of oil straight onto the floor. And he's like, clean it up. And I was like, yep, all right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I deserve that. I won't make that mistake again.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, my brain was like, yeah, I should just shut up.
The apprenticeship world can be quite savage.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that I had some pretty old school mentors with mechanics though. So I feel like it really prepared me for the tattoo world.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
Because they're not there to be your friend.
No.
Either you're bringing something or get out.
Yeah,
They're
you're going there to
people.
learn from them.
Yep.
you have to take time out of your day to teach someone. And what's the point of teaching someone that doesn't want to learn?
Correct.
And it's like, that's what you have to prove. You have to prove that you're there to learn. Don't worry about anything else.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
Within the first year, I reckon. Yeah.
So
Again,
they broke you down to build you back up again?
broke me down real quick.
I'll bet. All that swerving.
But yeah, very, very thankful for that. And yeah, I came up to Queensland. I made the move when I was a second year, I think. I moved up here by myself, like without any of my family. It was real.
What prompted that? Because that's pretty serious.
I wanted some different opportunities, and I wanted to kind of get to know the world, but like explore more. And I got offered a really good opportunity through Subaru that I could do a program through them where I could go to Sydney and go to a kind of like an engineers college rather than a TAFE. And they did Jaguar, Land Rover, Volkswagen and Subaru there. And yeah, I learned a lot there. I actually picked up a gig pit crewing there too. So I did pit crewing from everything from endurance go-karts to top fuelers to IPRA, which is circuit racing, improved production. And I learned so much real life on the ground knowledge doing that. Because, you know, laying under a car 2 a.m. at Sydney Motorsport Park in winter trying to change gearboxes in an Evo, it's like that's not the perfect scenario of having a pristine workshop and all the tools on hand. It's like, okay, how can I get this to work so we can race the next day?
And that is the whole other mentality in motorsport. And I struggle with people who don't understand that.
Yeah.
I really struggle with it because I'm like, you got 2 options: fix it or
don't.
you're done.
Yeah.
And so we figure out a way.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, no, that's it, it's over. I'm like, it's not fucking over. You got like 10 hours. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Build 3 cars.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. You either make it work or you don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go home.
And if you are the sort of person that won't make it work, you'll never get invited back onto a race team again.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And
that's really cool.
Yeah, so I did that up until I became a mum.
Far out. So you got to tell me, you obviously were looking for these opportunities. How did that opportunity come about with the Jaguar, Land Rover, Volkswagen, with that dealership? How did you even track that down?
It came through the workshop actually, because they went through a company for their training that was called Vantage Automotive at the time, which again, it was I think like an RTA, registered training. Yeah, instead of going through the local TAFE, which is funny because my brother who worked kind of the next workshop down went through TAFE.
Right.
And they had just put their apprentices where I was working. It was either you went through that or you went through like Mitsubishi training and yeah, I ended up going to that training, and I think they just saw me perform an autism and really lock in and went, okay, well, that's the one we're going to put the money on.
One of us.
That's the horse we're betting on.
Absolutely.
Because once I lock into something, like I'll hyperfixate and I'll read a textbook start to finish and must master everything around that.
And also with that something to prove attitude.
A little bit, because I think I went from it's me against the world to I need to show them I'm not someone to be messed with type thing. Not so much me versing them, but I was making myself valuable. And one thing my dad said to me when I got into mechanics is to be respected, especially as a female, you're probably going to have to get good at something other people can't do or something that people don't want to do. And I ended up really good at electrical diagnosis.
Right.
Yeah.
That's super helpful skill to have.
Yeah.
Especially with all the new cars, they're always fucked because of their electronics.
Yeah, whereas I can look at a wiring schematic and it's kind of like a puzzle to me. I'm like, okay, so it's like a little maze. Just follow it back.
And that would have been very handy as well as a younger mechanic with older people that could like tune carbies by ear, and they're going, for fuck's sake.
Also, I have really small hands, so
That-
wiring is fine for
Which
me.
is amazing.
Yeah,
Because you're trying to fit a dude as it, like, you know, when you're a $1.10 and you're upside down under the dash trying to get, you know, your bloody bear paws in there.
Yeah.
It's not a good time.
Yeah, exactly. So I can just squeeze up under the dash, get in there, done.
All over it. And
Yeah.
they'd be like, oh.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, let Ali do
Yeah,
it.
okay, that's all you. You are the electrical department.
Yeah, there was a recall there at one stage of Subaru alarm looms. And I got so fast at replacing them.
I could only imagine.
I could pretty much do it with my eyes closed.
So which gen Subarus were you working on?
So I was at Subaru from 2014 to 2017, roughly.
So they were big tanks by that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Trying
and
to
then
remember.
they just got into the Vorgs when I left.
Right.
I just got the first little taste of the Vorgs, but like when they brought out the BRZs and everything, I just remember I felt really old when I brought them out because I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
We still don't know how we feel about it. It's like you had fucking turbocharged engines. Why didn't you use them?
Why did we go backwards?
And the ones that they put in the Fozzies, the 2.5. I'm like, mate, put that in there.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
would be a stonker.
Yeah, and then they put them in the Levorgs, and then actually, I've seen a few Levorgs now being used as undercover police cars,
Really?
and I'm like, hey,
Because
yeah, they know what's up.
they throw down. Yeah, wow, that would have been a really interesting time. So you finished. So hang on, I'm just trying to piece this back together.
Yeah, side quest.
Yeah, mate, side quests are the best. So did you stay in Sydney for a while? So you were there for a time, or where were you based out of? With that
So I
experience?
was mainly living in Brisbane, but I was flying down to Sydney, and I was
Gotcha.
flying there anything from 7 days to like 20 days. And it was just,
So big stints.
yeah. So I feel like at one stage, I think it was for about a year, I was just living out of my, like a bag.
Well, you would have been.
'Cause
And
I felt
particularly
like-
with race teams.
Yeah, it was like every time I came home, I was leaving again, or, you know, I worked Monday to Friday, and I'd leave Friday afternoon, and I'd get back the following week on a Sunday night, and then back into work Monday morning, and it was like, it was just kind of a blur. But I did learn a lot, which was good.
That would have been a massive blur.
Yeah. One thing I have found, again, circling back, I hate coming back to the female part, but it was either the guys loved me because they're like, oh, she's one of the boys. Like, she's good at what she does. Or there's always one that'd be like, she's only here because she's a girl. And I was like, well, no, because you're here too. So what? Where are we going with this?
That's right. You're a fuckhead and you're here, so there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or he'd be like, yep, the only reason she gets like a good opportunity is because she's a girl. And it's like, no, because I'm fucking putting the work in, man.
The effort is the same,
Yeah.
and probably more, because as you said, you have to
Yeah.
prove, for whatever reason.
Yeah. When in doubt, blame the different person.
Correct. That is the low IQ thing to do.
Yeah. But then at the end of the day, I don't see myself as any different to any other mechanic. I'm just a bit
No,
smaller.
no, just
I just sit in the engine bay.
another human. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing, and you like that, and you're drawn to that, and you work hard at it.
Yeah. And then, yeah, same as when I was getting into drifting, I remember I play on it a bit because when I was learning, there was nowhere to learn how to drift in Ballina, okay?
Can't imagine.
Yeah, so-
there would have been, but they would not be very well approved.
Yeah, exactly. I did learn doing some stupid streeting stuff, which I don't recommend. Heavily don't recommend, especially if you have the opportunity to go to a track. But I got to the stage where I realized I wasn't going to learn anything doing what I was doing. And I would finish work on a Friday afternoon and jump in my S15, load it up full of tyres and a jack and everything, and I'd drive 3 hours to QR just to go on wet pen half the time,
Wow.
just to learn. And because Ballina is halfway between QR, and Rayleigh.
Wow.
Yep. That were my 2 closest tracks to learn. And it's like, if all I get is 2 hours on wet pan on a Friday night, I'm driving up to do it.
Yeah,
And I drive back down and work Saturday.
How did you even fall into drifting? How did that happen?
I have always loved cars again. I actually heavily was involved in circuit racing and drags for a long time. But I've always loved drifting. Like, just seeing it on movies and seeing videos and stuff like that my brothers would have. And I remember when I was an apprentice mechanic, my brother gave me an Exedi poster of Levi Clarke. And I was like, oh, he's like the coolest person ever. That's so sick. And I was just blown away with it. I was like, the cars always look so cool. The whole theme of drifting just seems really cool, like real kind of badass. And I don't know, I was just always drawn to it. And then, yeah, I got an S15 when I was a P plater. I pulled the engine, the DET out of it. I put a Ortec into it. And I just went from there. Like, I remember so many people would give me shit about the car because they're like, oh, it's not this, it's not that, it's not turbo, it doesn't have the biggest wheels on it. And I just kept upgrading it and upgrading it. And I think one of the bad things I did with that car was I listened to too many people at the time and I wouldn't do exactly what I wanted with it. But yeah, I started trying to do that. I started driving up and going to any drift event I could, regardless of what that meant. Like, you know, I'd drive up just to watch or, again, just to do wet pan. And I remember one night when I was in the thick of it. I had a lot of stuff going on in my young life. I was going through a relationship breakdown. I'd had a miscarriage at 19 or 20, trying to deal with that and emotions of that too, because being that I was in the line of work, I was surrounded by males. There's not a lot of girls that I can go like, hey, is this normal? Like, and again, outside of work, I had 3 big brothers. So it's like, I can't talk to any of them about that. And all of my friends were mainly males. So I was like, I was trying to process all those emotions alone. And that's something that not a lot of people open up about. And then also at the same time, my friend passed away in a car accident down home, which is very prevalent down there. And I've just gone, I'm going to go do wet pan. Like, that's going to fix my life. So I drove up and I was doing wet pan, and I had people pointing and laughing at me and going like, oh, if you don't know how to drift, why the hell would you enter a drift thing? And I was like, dude, I'm on wet pan. I'm doing my best. I'm in an NA. I was like, and I haven't talked to many people about this, but that night I was sat there in wet pan lineup and I took my helmet off and I could hear them laughing. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not enjoying life anymore. I'm probably going to go home and end it. Like, that's just where I was at. I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And I heard someone go, oh, what car are you driving then, fuckhead? Or something like that. And I was like, what? Man himself, Levi Clarke, stand there getting up the guys that were laughing at me. And he walks over and he goes, you learning? And I was like, oh, I'm trying to, but it's not going very well. And he's like, all right, well, I'll give you some tips. And he goes, turn left to go right type thing and start off just doing circles and then try to go for a figure 8. And he gave me a few tips, jumped in the car, gave me a few pointers. By the end of the night, I was doing figure 8s all night long. And on the drive home, because again, I've got a 3-hour drive home after this by myself at night. And I was like, that was really, really cool. Like, and that gave me something to go, you know what? I want to keep doing this. That's given me something to work towards. And that's all it took, was one person to go like, hey, you know what? You're trying. And again, to the guys laughing at me, what car are you driving? They weren't actually driving. They were just there spectating. And I was like, I took that and I was like, I want to do something with drifting. Like, I want to be someone like Levi who made a good impression on people. And for a long time, I didn't know how to do that because, again, like I'm someone who's not actively center of attention, being spicy brained. I was always bullied in school. I was always told I'm like the weird one. You know, wasn't sure where I fit in, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put myself out there and do what I do. And, you know I can drive. I know I can build cars. I know I can work on cars. And the more I just did that and showed people that was, I met all these really amazing people. I've met all these amazing girls who now come to me and they're like, hey, Ally, can you teach me how to do this? I'm like, yeah. I showed you before the engine dances. I've been showing a friend of mine about different engines, and like inline engines are up and down and V6s are out and boxer engines are sideways shimmies and stuff like that. Like little quirks that I learnt myself of how to, again, remember stuff in my little spicy brain. And I was like, oh, there's so many more people out there that are just like me that can learn from me. And I can, again, be a positive influence on the drift scene.
And for some reason, we're all drawn to sideways cars.
Yeah.
There's something about it, isn't there?
Yeah, because it's different.
It is so different, and there's so much self-expression.
Yeah. It's
And
an art form.
That is truly what I love about it, is that it is an art form.
Yeah.
Every part of it.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's one of the sports that truly is. It's a mixture between almost, it's like a dance, really. It's like a dance, but it's a competitive sport as well.
And that presentation, the way that you build a car, engine combo, paint, interior, wheels, body kit, nothing looks the same.
Yeah.
There's none of this, oh God, which car is that? Like tin top stuff.
Yeah.
Everything is difficult. Oh, sorry, is different and has personality.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I was saying before. I listened to too many people when I was first getting into it of what it should look like. Whereas the car sitting behind us, it's everything that I like. I don't really, someone could come up to me and tell me it's the ugliest thing in the world. And I'd be like, yeah, probably is. I like it.
That's the magic of time, though. It takes a while to realise that your ideas are good enough.
Yeah.
And that they're actually probably the best ideas.
Yeah.
Is once you start to be confident and lean into that, and then truly draw from your own inspiration and go, fuck it, I'm just doing it for me.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, go away.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me happy, so I'm going to do it.
That's wild. And Mr. Levi as well. And like, you know, not to dwell on it, but I think it's important to bring up, like going through the grief of a person going through a miscarriage.
Yep.
That's severe.
Yeah, and again, I think it's one of those things that no one really talks about it. I feel like there's almost a shame around it. Like I've been through it 3 times now, and yeah, I've found so many girls now opening up about it. They'll be like, "Oh, you know, this has happened to me." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like that must be rough. This is what's happened to me." And they're like, "Oh." And actually realizing it happens to other people. It's not just you.
A lot.
Yeah. And again, it's just breaking down those barriers, making it okay to talk about.
People don't even know how to open the conversation. And a friend of mine has had one recently, and you know, she's a very high performer, big serious job, and she just doesn't even know how to put one foot in front of the other at the moment.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
she's just got the mask on but
exactly.
Shattered.
Because people just assume like, oh, you know, that's the female body, like that's what you're born to do. And it's like, well, no, it's actually, funnily enough, creating life's actually really hard.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have 2 little ones now. And yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world.
No, well, it's very special when it works, but I don't think people realise. You think back to sex ed in school, and basically, you know, if you cross paths with another person, you know,
yeah,
you're going to get pregnant.
But also, they just don't talk about that
all these
either.
other things. No,
yeah.
It's literally just, safe sex type stuff.
Safe sex, STIs, you're done.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, no, there's a fair bit around this, and massive hormonal shifts and massive body shifts. And, you know, it's actually not that easy. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, well, actually, so at Matsuri, I ran an all-girls Q&A for drivers to come and talk to Colette. one of the questions that got brought up was, how do you deal with comps when you're dealing with period pain and everything? And I was like, oh, I haven't actually thought about that, because that's just something that as a girl you're just like, oh, I just do it. Like, you know, chuck a heat pad on, some Panadol, and hope for the best that day. But yeah, I was like, yeah, well, in a high level competitive setting, being in constant pain, like, and I know guys have constant pain too, but I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's an acute pain as well. My wife struggles with, a couple of things. And for her, like, she can barely move.
Yeah.
There's a few days a month there where she's just, like, crippled.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that I've dealt with as a mechanic, as a horticulturalist, and you kind of just get to the stage where it's like, oh, there's no point whinging, because, you know, I remember saying it at school once. I was like, oh, I'm in a lot of pain. My teacher just turned around and went, well, you should have known it was coming. It's the same time every month. And I was like, oh, fuck, all right then.
Like, wow, thanks. That's kind and caring.
Yeah. But that was just like,
but
again.
That sort of thinking as well, because my wife discovered it's endometriosis and she's had it for decades.
Yeah.
And the doctors were like, nah, it's normal. Like in your 20s, nah, you're supposed to be in this much pain. I'm like,
yeah.
Nobody took it seriously. And now she's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, again, I've struggled with endometriosis and PCOS through my time. And the only time that I felt like medical staff were listening to me is when I was trying to fall pregnant and having miscarriages. Other than that, they're like, it's, you know, it's just a part of being a woman.
The way it is. It's fucking shit. Now, be quiet.
Yeah,
Don't talk about it. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, and that's just, one of the things that we have to deal with. But I just thought it was such a good question to ask of another female driving, just like, how do you cope with that? Like, can you mentally prepare for knowing that you're going to go into a big battle with that much pain? Or so, yeah, that was really interesting seeing that side of things. And
because did she have sort of techniques as well, or strategies that helped her, or just...
Yeah, again, it was kind of like, oh, you just got to put on a brave face and...
heat pad and send it.
Yeah, deal with it. But that was actually one good thing that I wanted to bring up. Queensland Raceway, the amenities, their upgrades to the amenities and actually having nice bathrooms and stuff, huge thing. Being a girl going to tracks and having to deal with like broken seats on the toilets or no toilet paper, and I feel like such a first world problem whinging about that. But yeah, I love the work that QR is doing around inclusiveness, and even to the fact they're having accessible viewing platforms now as well.
Correct. They've
That's
put
huge
efforts in. It's actually very well thought out. Does TQ have anyone in his family? Like, how come they're so in touch with all this? Is there...
I'm not sure, actually, but...
Because it's not something that people generally consider unless it's impacted them, is what I've come to notice.
Yeah. I dare say over his time he would have seen a lot of it. And there are a lot of times where, you know, especially racers when they become injured, and because that happens a lot, and need, you know, a bit of extra help. But yeah, it's definitely, I love the work that they've been doing there.
It's surprisingly thoughtful.
Yeah, it's good though.
It is very good. Okay, well, so where we were in your story was the great Levi Clarke.
Yep.
Managed to step in when some fuckheads in the cheap seats were throwing shade, and certainly made your day. Like, made a hell of an impact. So the bloke who you'd had a poster of...
Yeah, it came full circle.
That's
and
actually pretty wild.
Yeah, it's come full circle again, because Exedi have actually come on board with the S13 build and helped me out with a Hyper Series clutch.
Holy crap. So hang on, you're going to be on a poster and you're going to inspire...
Oh my God, if I ever get to that stage, Mate,
you have to. You're I don't know if you're aware of this, but you're actually at that stage. I'm not sure who has to tell you this, but you are there. You've arrived.
I hope I can make at least half an impact of someone that Levi had made.
I promise that you already have, and that there's plenty more to come.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to keep trying.
But that's the art form of, I don't know, making space for people and being that sort of person.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's, again, I've created a build series with this S13, and I'm actually going to start posting that a lot more soon, because I've got some big work coming from it. And I've done most of it myself, but I'm going to be doing how-tos in a way that I feel other spicy brains can follow along. And
I'm down with this.
yeah, and again, like I've got my Sakura Days, which is my all-women's drift days that I've been organising, and I've got a lot of those coming up too, but it's not even about the girls and the guys type thing anymore.
Just welcoming.
Yeah, just creating that space where it is okay to come in and learn and ask questions.
And just be, and nobody will be like, oh, why are you driving that? Or like,
yeah.
mate, if you've got a front wheel drive with Macca's trays, let her rip.
Yeah,
like,
it's like, why are you learning how to drift, you loser?
yeah, because it's fucking sick.
I just remember sitting in my car, that night, and I was just like, I don't know, man. I'm on wet pan. I'm trying my best over here. Like, I don't know what to do different. Like,
That's really crazy.
Yeah. I just remember sitting there trying to justify it. Like, why am I there trying to learn? Like, and again, it's one of those moments where you're made to feel dumb when you're not. And it's like, I don't know, like, what do you want me to do? Go hit a gutter at Coles or something? Like, fuck.
But again, that's people who have made nothing of themselves projecting their own insecurity.
Yeah, exactly.
The loudest voices come from the cheapest seats.
And I think, again, being that I'm spicy-brained and just at that stage where it's like, I don't know where I fit into this. And it's like, spicy brains aren't made to fit in. We just appear.
And then we're there.
Together.
And we're like, ta-da.
And then all of a sudden there's like 30 of us.
We're like, oh, God, we're multiplying.
But yeah, I think, just getting to the stage where it's okay to be different.
So after that experience with Levi and, I don't know, just being welcomed, I guess, what happened next?
I started driving a lot more, and then I moved to Queensland, and the tracks became so much more accessible. And again, I just kept showing up, and I met a lot of really awesome people. Ended up meeting Grant, which was sick. I actually had to borrow his jack because I did the spicy thing, rushed to get to the track and left my tools at home and had all my sets of wheels and nothing to change them with. So I had to walk up and down pits and be like, hi, can I please borrow your tools? Which was very funny, but ended up,
So
driving.
that's how you guys met?
Yeah, that's how we met. And then we ended up driving together, and he didn't know I was NA because I could chase him really well. But when he went to chase me, I remember looking back, entering Dipper, and just seeing him grab every holy shit panel in his car, because he was coming in hot. And he said over his engine, all he could hear was me clutch kicking the heck out of my NA. And he was like, oh my God.
And he was like, it was love at first clutch kick.
Nah, so we had a really interesting dynamic.
I would love to hear this. How did this all come together? Tell me a Fast and Furious love story.
We've just been really good mates. I don't think there was ever like a love at first sight thing.
Really?
We were just good mates. And then we went traveling together, and then all of a sudden we had kids, and we were like, fuck.
A little bit more than good mates. I got good mates, but I don't have kids with them.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, you got to, yeah.
But then, now just parenting, running drift events. Yeah.
Just happened. Just turned up, and then we were here, and now we have 3 kids.
Well, that's the thing. It's like even our parenting styles are very different and everything, but
just works.
Yeah, I feel like
meant to be.
Yeah, we're just opposites, so we kind of just even each other out.
And when you say opposites, how do you mean?
So Grant is very structured. He's very... When I say opposites, there's a lot of stuff we do similar, but he's very structured, very time conscious. And I'm very much, no, it just happens when it happens. We'll make it work, whatever. Go with the flow.
That one.
Yeah. But, yeah. He's got the hyperactive ADHD. I've got the inattentive. I'm a dreamer.
Inattentive.
Yeah.
That's the best. But that's the artist as well.
Yeah. Yeah, very
It's
much so.
In your own world, creating your own places, creating your own spaces.
Yeah.
Like seeing the future, being able to visualize this in your head, knowing it, and then making it a reality.
But then when it comes to the events we run, it's very much he's the hands-on at the track, setting out the layouts, talking to the drivers, doing everything, whereas I'm the logistics behind it. I'm the one writing out the proposals, going over dates, forecasting the event, making sure that we have enough money to pay for the event and do the prizes for Outlaws, or talking to charities for our charity events. And I'm the one just happily working away in the background.
Because that all just makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
wild? Because it's quite a crazy thing what you guys have done. And I say that in the most wonderful way. So you guys started developing your own drift events.
Yeah.
So you saw a need, jumped in, and you went, righto, we're going to do this.
Yep.
How the hell did that happen? Like, what a dinner conversation.
I don't know. I think a lot of people in the drift scene have this moment where they're like, oh, I could do an event, you know, I could run an event better than that, or I could do this, or it'd be really sick if someone did an event like this. And we just kind of went, all right, well, let's do it then. Let's not just sit here and talk about it. Let's just kind of fumble our way through this and see if we can make it work. And it does.
It sure has. Like,
And yeah, we're going from Drift Outlaws being at one stage, well, pretty sure it still is. It was one of the highest prize pools in Australia. And now we're taking that from single events to a series next year. So I think it's going to be 3 or 4 rounds. And then we've got a pretty cool special bonus round. That
love a bonus round.
yeah, that's going to be a real test for people, which will be exciting
And this
to
is
release.
all top secret?
Yes,
Can't tell
at
us
the
anything?
moment. Well, that one will be enticing who people think are Australia's best drivers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because you get some pretty gun drivers turning up. You've even had a few of the OGs coming out of retirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I ran into Josh Botcher, and he was testing his car at QR, and like he's got his 3 kids there and his wife and like the whole shebang, and he's out there testing to come to Drift Outlaws. And
Yeah.
like, you know, he's a pretty serious contender. I've watched him hold a carbon fibre trophy above his head. Like
Yeah.
he's
We've got like OGs going up against grassroots drivers who are just absolute menaces.
yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah. And then, so like that Drift Outlaws, Connor from Flatline in his C33 walked away with first place, going up against massive comp cars, and he just knew where to put his car.
How good's that?
Yeah.
Because you guys have injected a lot of fun into it. Is
Yeah.
one of the things I've seen is that, yeah, you've got the thing where you can call people out, and you've got like all sorts
Yep.
of stuff to just
So we've got
Level
chip
it.
draws. So instead of doing like your normal heats, we do a chip draw. So you just draw a number, or yeah,
and then whatever happens.
Yep.
Because the old battle trees can be pretty savage.
yeah,
Whereas at least if there is an element of, yeah,
yep, yeah. It's just
Luck,
you
innit?
draw what you draw.
yeah.
We also do prizes. So we've got first, second, third, obviously, but then we have prizes for, you know, we had one that was just who was being a good role model on the day.
That's
Like-
the way.
Who's out there helping people. We've got like who had the biggest crash, who had the best lines, so there's a chance for everyone to win something. It's not just first, second, third, everyone else can go home empty-handed.
And lifting up people doing the right things.
Yeah.
Like encouraging more positive behaviour.
Exactly. And there's one thing that we have, and it's a zero stance on bullying. If there's bullies at our events, they're gone. They're not coming back. Because we don't want anyone to feel like, again, people like me felt. Because you don't know. Like, those guys wouldn't have known I was sitting there freaking in the trenches at the time. But it's like, yeah, we're there to have fun. We're not there to, you know, break people down.
What is, you know, you can be anything you want, be kind.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
It's a good place to
start. If
start.
you don't have anything nice to say.
Yeah, say nothing. And I really like what you guys have brought to that. And then I guess it's probably a very natural segue into your Sakura Days. So tell me about the birth of that as a concept.
Yeah, so Sakura Days, for me, again, I'm not trying to push an agenda of like girls versus boys or anything, but there's so many times where I've met girls and I was like, oh, you know, you love drifting, like why don't you come out and try it? And it's like, oh no, like I'm too scared to spin out in front of people, or like because my partner drives, I don't want to let him down by not being able to drive, and you know, all these things. And it's like, if I can just give them a space where they can come and try it out, you know, I don't care if someone comes out, does one lap and goes, oh, you know what, that's not for me, I'm never doing that again. That's fine. At least you came out and tried and you had a safe space to do that. You weren't scared about like everyone in lineup seeing you, or, you know, Colette and I were actually discussing it. We both still, well, again, she's drives probably a bit bigger events than me, but she said there's days where she sits in lineup shaking still because she's, you know, overthinking everything, and she just has to put her game face on and go for it. But I'm sure there's guys that do that too. But again, I feel like a lot of girls are just too nervous to take that initial step. So I created Sakura Days, which is it's just an event where they can come out, any level driver I had girls that had never even driven manual before out there. Because again, they were like, I'm scared to try manual, but I don't know where else I can learn. But my partner drives track and I really want to get into it. But like, how do I do that jump? And those girls never driven manual. And then they're linking figure eights by the end of the day. Because we've got all these guys out there that are just a vast array of knowledge, that are genuinely supportive. And they're like, we can teach you how to set up your car. We can give you driving tips. We can help lift you up. And then half the girls went away and started booking in for Friday nights and Wednesdays and Matsuris. And it's like, yes, that's just the little jump that they needed. And so I'm hoping to do 4 of those a year. And I'm going to look at branching off into some workshops. So I really want to start running like some towing workshops and how to strap down your car. Because
Brilliant.
if you don't have someone to teach you,
How do you learn?
where are you going to learn?
Because that's not something that comes naturally, and it's not something that you're going to just YouTube. Like, you really do need someone
Even
to
me,
show you.
I can't load the chaser onto the trailer by myself. I need someone here because I'm not tall enough to push the clutch in and see out the window at the same time.
Not ideal.
I just need someone there to guide me. But it's also like, again, I've been lucky enough to have people in my life that are able to show me how to load a car, how to strap it on without pulling my wheel alignment out and stuff like this. But it's like, I've had girls say that to me, like, I want to learn how to drive, but unless I can drive my car there, I don't know what to do. Like, if I break my car while I'm out there, I can't drive it home. And I was like, oh, well, can't someone teach you? No? And I was like, okay, well, that's an avenue that I can then look at because, yeah, I love teaching people. I love making it more inclusive. So, yeah, I'm going to start doing some more workshops around that and also getting teenagers involved. So I've got a lot of friends that are like, hey, I've got a son starting to learn how to drive, but I don't know where to take him to learn X, Y, Z about a car. Or I don't know how to do that. So like whether it's changing wheels and they've said, I've asked driving instructors, but that's not something they can do. So it's like, where can they learn how to do that?
There's a big void there that needs to be filled.
Yep, and I'm hopefully going to do that starting next year. That's a project that I'm really passionate about and I really want to do.
Honestly, that's amazing because you've run more than one of the Sakura Days, haven't you?
I've run one Sakura Day so far. I've done a lot of, we've done charity events and the Drift Outlaws, but with the Sakura Days, I took a pretty big gamble on that. So I had reached out to a few places to talk about sponsorship, and a few places turned around and said, "Yeah, we'll sponsor it, but we want you to charge spectator prices, or we want you to put the driver's tickets up and we want half of it," or a lot of that sort of thing, which I get. It's an event. People want to make money. They want to see a return on it. But for me, I was like, I don't want it to be about a money grab. I want it to be about providing this opportunity. So I went into it and I was like, you know what? I'll just pay for it out of pocket. And if I get my money back, I get my money back. And if I don't, I don't. It is what it is. And thankfully, it was a huge success. So I did not come out in the red, which is, always
solid gamble.
Yeah. Oh, very solid gamble. But yeah. And I do it 100 times over.
Well, you got to back yourself, don't you? That's the big one.
That's it.
And if your stories have taught me anything, you're pretty good at that.
Yeah. I have blind confidence when it comes to certain stuff. But yeah, so I had a really good lineup of cars. I think I ended up with close to 30 girls come out, and nearly every one of them messaged and said, "Hey, if you do that again, we're coming out to it."
That's wicked.
Yeah, and I've actually got some pretty big news. So QR have come to play with International Women's Day. So we are doing a girls' takeover of QR for International Women's Day. So we're going to have girls' motorbikes out there, circuit racing and drifting. And I'll be doing a very big Sakura Days activation there. So
that is wicked. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
March
massive.
next year. I'll be doing a huge activation, which I've got some really, really big plans for.
I have absolutely no doubt.
Yep. And then leading from that, I'm going to have 3 more Sakura Days activations throughout the year where I'll be running a low spectator learners morning. So that's more for the girls who want to come out and give it a go, maybe first timers or some girls that haven't had much seat time. So I'll be running that as like a low spectator, low like capped drivers. And then in the afternoons, I'm opening up to the girls that are a bit more experienced, or even some of the learners if they want to continue on for the rest of the night and do some night driving. And I'll be running night markets and a show and shine as well.
So good.
So yeah, we'll have like the one day of drifting into the night, drifts, food vans, markets, vendor stalls, show and shine.
A whole lot.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. Live music, hopefully. If I know any DJs out there that want to get on board. Shameless plug.
Mate, this is where you come for shameless plugs. Few people listen to this. So that, yeah, wow.
Yep.
So you're not doing any of this by half, are you? This is a thing.
No, and as I was talking to you before, I've stepped away from my 9 to 5 to really lock in on that. I'm still tattooing, but I'm putting a lot of focus into making some really cool events for people going into next year. And again, I'm backing myself 110% on it. So, yeah, it's going to be a big year.
You do sound like you don't have a lot of free time.
No.
No.
I create time.
You create time for the things that you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
You've really got to share with me about like your side quest into tattooing, because like you're amazing at it. Like I look at the stuff you do and you're like, you've only been doing this for like how many years? 3, 4 years? Like,
yeah, probably about 4 years.
Yeah. So like accidental, super talented side quest.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I've always loved art. I didn't know how to get into it. I started and yeah.
Because again, please, I hope I'm not wrong, but Saito,
Yeah.
was that you?
Yes.
So you tattooed Saito Jump, like,
Yeah. I tattooed it on him.
onto the man himself.
Yeah. That was
This is where we need to do
awesome.
like Wayne's World. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Like, mate, that is the coolest. Like when you said, "Oh, I hope one day I get there." I'm like, "You're there. You've tattooed the man doing the jump."
Yeah.
I'm
He
like,
was so cool
That is
too.
full blown rock star stuff. Like, he's the coolest dude.
Yeah, that was awesome. And like we were looking at the photo and we're going over things because he's like, oh yeah, like I want this sticker a bit more prominent, this one not so prominent because like sponsorships and stuff. And we're talking about like backgrounds. And he just sat there and, yep, let me do my thing. We were kind of chatting during the tattoo. And then at one stage, he was actually getting interviewed for like a podcast while I'm tattooing him. And it was just like the most bizarre kind of, how did I get here moment? But yeah, it was so fun.
That is a how did I get here? That is the bit where your brain just drops into neutral for a second. You're like, what the fuck have I done? Like, how?
Yeah, that's
what?
the biggest ADHD side quest. It's just like, I don't even know how I'm here, but I'm having fun.
Go, what a time.
Yeah.
Because how the hell did that even come about? Like,
So a very good friend, Michael at Dory Junkie, helped organise that. Called me up and he's like, hey, I've got an idea. And I was like, okay, hit me with it. And he's like, we have roughly this amount of time on this exact date of when he flies in. He wants to get a tattoo. And I was like, oh, I'm tattooing all day that day, but you know what? Like, yep, let's make it happen. And I said, what does he want? And he goes, he wants his car. And I was like, oh, okay. What? Can you elaborate? And he's like, yeah.
which car? Is that a few?
Yeah, he goes, he wants a jump car. And I was like, okay. And at first, I thought he wanted it on his arm. So I was like, yeah, okay, arms nice and flat, less pressure. And then when he came in, he's like, oh, I want it on my back. And I was like, okay. It's on a shoulder blade, so it's on a part that moves. I need to make sure it gets it right. But yeah, super thankful for Michael of that. I've had many funny stories with him over the years, but yeah, amazing opportunity.
Because that's a river. That's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just,
To
again.
go, my art is on the man.
Yeah. I got to tattoo one of the most like historic moments. Like it was a pivotal moment.
Send that to your art teacher. You're like, suck it.
Yeah. Take that.
I did it.
Yeah. And like, even to think, I drive a JZX 100 now. To think of that airborne is wild.
It does put it in context when you're looking at the car next to you and going, bit of a behemoth.
Yeah.
4 wheels in the air sideways with not a lot of room.
That is a luxury family saloon in the air. But yeah, definitely an awesome, awesome opportunity. And again, it's all drifting, right?
Man, the coolest people I've ever met in my life has been because of this sport.
Yeah.
Because you just
Definitely.
meet cool people and we're all a bit bonkers
Yep.
and we all like doing crazy shit. And then we reach out to each other and we're like, hey, I got this dumb idea. Let's do a thing. And they're like, hell yeah, let's do a thing. And we're like, how are we
Yeah.
going to do it? And like, I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And even though like my experience coming into drifting wasn't the best, I've met some of the absolute best people. Like I said, at Matsuri, I had people jumping out trying to help me work on the car. I gave someone the shirt off my back so they could go in a car for then someone to run over and give me a shirt because they saw what I did and they were like, oh, she can't drive now because she's just given someone her longs. So I'll give her this one. And yeah, it was just such a crazy experience.
Yeah, there's a lot of love in that world of, because you're just trying to help people have seat time.
Yeah.
Like, get out, get back out there. How can we help? How can we make it go?
Yeah,
How
we're
can we
just there
make
to
more
have
people
fun.
into it? Because this is a really good time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think Australian drifting's definitely on the right trajectory.
Agreed.
And it's definitely a space to be watched at the moment. I think there's going to be a lot of really cool things coming out of Australia soon. And that's the thing. Australia, we're like this weird little island, right? Like we're like, no one really knows of us as such. Like, if you look, the Australians that have made it over to America driving, you've got, like, Fink and Ferrin and Drift Squid. They're probably the main ones. And it's like, if you ask an American, oh, name 5 Australian drifters, they're like, oh. Yeah. But if you ask the Australians, like, hey, who's in FD? They can probably tell you nearly the whole seating. And it's like, we're doing good stuff with our sport. We just need to get it out there.
And I think that's key. I think that's something that, as I said, I witnessed firsthand going from QR Drift Matsuri to Abisu Matsuri. Like, as an event, QR Matsuri, you can take your friends, take your family, take all your... But, like, for Abisu, like, if you're not hardcore, you will find it very awkward. It is not one for the kids. It is not one for the family. It is not one to bring people along to introduce them to the sport if they don't really get it.
Yeah.
Whereas what we do here, I think, is world class.
Yeah, and I know there's been some smack talk in social media, right? Like, people like, oh, Matsuri's doing too much. Like, why is it... But again, there's people taking their families out. Like, I had 2 kids out there and driving and organising Q&As and trying to do multiple different things, and to be able to grab them decent food and watch fireworks and, you know, actually have them involved, because the kids love the cars, but also it's like 10 hours of straight cars is a lot for little brains.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And to be able to involve your family in what you love is awesome.
Because you want to bring them. Because, again, my wife thinks it's terrible. My son doesn't really care.
Yeah.
So the idea of trying to bring them out there when they're both like, but you really want to share it with them, and it does need to be more, particularly here in Australia, because we have to fight so hard to make our events successful, profitable, all that sort of stuff.
And to actually have other people see drifting as more than just a bunch of yahoos trying to ruin the track. Because that's what a lot of people say, like, oh, drifters just ruin the track and they do this and they do that. And it's like, it's come a long way and it's only getting better from here. But yeah, to just get it seen, get it heard and get it noticed.
And get it in front of people.
Oh, we got the mower going through.
Oh, well, because we do this show live, you get, and, you know, our studio is the place. We've literally got the dude across the road mowing the park, which is pretty funny.
There's the red keys right there, if it's the red button.
Hilarious.
We'll just need to watch the fan.
Oh, and the lip on that.
Oh, yep, the chaser.
Is that going to clear? Oof. There we go. So we've got our senior producer, Gibbo, doing the 2-finger croc dance behind the camera, trying to move the fan. That's pretty hilarious. But that's what we do on this show. We just wing it, much like our entire lives.
We just make it work. It either works or it doesn't.
Say that to my wife all the time, because she's there planning it out. She's that spicy. She's the very structured, must know, everything must go a certain way. And I'm like, fuck, is that flicking rocks?
I hope not. Because
with pretty cars on the driveway, that sounded a lot like flicking rocks. I'm glad they hit the door and not the car. Fucking hell. Deep breaths. Beautiful cars in the driveway. Lawn being mowed. Rocks being flicked. Actually, we're probably pretty lucky we put that down. We could have copped.
That was going to be the payout for the next Sakura Days.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. That would have been our council. Go. We'll send you the bill for the JZX. You guys have a lot of stuff that you're doing and putting together. So you've got all these events next year. You've got a series coming. You've got your Sakura Days. You've got your mega International Women's Day.
And we've even got one charity day coming before the end of the year.
Oh, my God.
December 21st, we are doing a charity called Sleigh Day.
talk to me about Sleigh Day.
Sleigh Day. So we are saying to give the gift of giving this Christmas. We have chosen something that's really dear to our hearts, actually. We've chosen to donate the money from this event. So all the drivers all the selected drivers doing it will, instead of paying a driver's fee, they give us a donation. Same with spectators, they'll all do a donation. Vendors can donate everything. Every cent of that money goes to, so similar to what we've done with Shaka Showdown, with Huck It In for the Homeless. All the proceeds of Sleigh Days is going to a local developmental program for children, so the ECDP of Browns Plains. So they do a lot of their program is like a big catchment in this area. And what they do is they run a little program at one of the local schools. They have their own little classroom and playground, and they help special needs kids getting ready to transition into school. So a lot of the special needs kids, you know, that's a huge jump for them, trying to get used to schooling from daycare or home. And what this program does, it's run by the Early Childhood Developmental Program through Queensland Government. And they have, you're allowed to attend there once you apply once a week, and they help them get ready for school. They help find what school is going to be best suited to you. And they help not just the kids, but the families transition into that. And we know that firsthand from our son Yuka, who's ASD level 3 nonverbal, trying to, you know, find our way, working out how, you know, what schooling is going to look like, what life might look like. And they have been incredible, but there's days that I go in there and, you know, the toys are old. They're all just donated. They might, little cars missing a wheel, and the teachers are so connected to the students that when we finally got approved for Yuka to attend a special school, his teacher was in tears. And she's like, oh my God, like, I had a backup plan just in case, but, you know, they take that home. I'm over here losing sleepless nights over one child, and they have 20 kids that they're trying to, you know, help and get through. So we really wanted to do something special and get them some of the equipment they need. So yeah, we're going to donate the money to them, and hopefully that helps support some kids for the next year or so.
That's really special.
Yeah.
Because that is, and look, if you don't mind, I mean, I'd love to understand a little bit more, because you're raising a child with, you know, complex needs.
Yeah.
Like, that adds a load to your existence that a lot of people wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
It's one that I understand, and so I acutely understand the burden. And it's not a burden in the sense that, like, you'd gladly do it all, but it takes a toll.
Yep.
And that's probably something I'm interested in asking you about, is how you have found ways to manage that for yourself.
Yeah, so especially because, again, my closest family is in Ballina, so 2 hours away. So I can't, you know, when I need help, I can't just call mum and be like, hey, mum, can you come? And to add to that, my mum has terminal cancer. So she's been going through a lot of her own treatments. So for a long time there, while Yuka was a baby and a toddler, I didn't have that support network. So again, it was just kind of like, well, we're going to figure this out or we're not. So, and again, that comes down to the fact that we can now bring him to QR and have things, and that's not an easy task. Especially a child who, you know, can be triggered by noises and unpredictability. But he is obsessed with cars and bikes. I had taken him to the Australian Superbikes at QR, and that's the happiest I've ever seen him.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't block his ears once.
Wow.
He was just so thrilled to see the bikes in person because he watches them on YouTube, and this is a kid that will be up at kind of 3 a.m. watching GP or watching the drifts, and being able to include him in stuff is so awesome because, there's tracks around Australia that you can't take kids under 16 to. So then who misses out? Because there's a lot of families now where both parents want to drive, or it's like, okay, well, even if it's just one parent driving, the family then has to stay home.
It feels very short-sighted.
Yeah. And, I got to the stage with the kids. So before driving the JZX, I had about a 6 to 7 year gap of not being able to drive because it got to the stage where I was like, okay, well, I need to make a decision here. Either I'm, providing and being there for my family, or I'm chasing my own goals. And at that stage, I couldn't do both. So I made the decision. I sold my S15, which was a car that no one ever thought I'd ever sell. It was the car that I had from my red P plates through all my drifting and everything. And even the person that bought it still says to this day that they feel bad for buying it. But I had made that decision. And
to prioritise them.
Yeah, I was mourning a friend when I lost that car. Like, that's how I felt. Because it was like I was mourning a piece of me that I didn't think I was going to get back. Because I was like, well, this is it. Like, I need to be there for the kids. I need to be the one that's home and looking after them. And, it's just not compatible to be out trying to drift and do all these things.
And attend the appointments and the things for school. And
the appointments alone, I do speech and OT every week with him. And, going through the diagnosis appointment, I remember I felt crazy at one stage because there in front of me is this small child that I love so dearly. And, that's it. I made him. And I'm sitting there trying to tell a doctor that there's essentially something wrong to get the support that he needs. But it's like, there's nothing wrong with him. He's got all the same parts there. It's just a different processing system. He's insanely smart.
Just different wiring. You said earlier, Apple and Android.
Apples and Androids. That's it.
Just slightly different operating systems, but...
Yeah. Like on the weekend, I was out here saying to strip down my engine for the rebuild. He was out here by my side. I had my little girl doing the coil packs. He was... he helped with the front cover, and then I turned around and he actually had the measuring tape doing some scooter modifications. So he's measuring his scooter and he's got his little screwdrivers and...
That's wicked.
Yeah, and there's times of the day where he's home and I'll hear the shed door open and I'll poke my head out and he's just out here looking over the engine. It's not touching anything, but he's just taking it all in. And I was like, yes, I've corrupted him.
One of us.
Yeah. I was like, become an engine builder, fix mum's stuff.
Yeah, Mum doesn't want to do the wiring anymore. Just because I can doesn't mean I want to.
Help me. Child labour.
Yeah, absolutely. You go, the best thing you can do is when you go, just paid for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But that's it. Like, being able to include him is absolutely awesome. And being able to, again, now be able to chase my dreams and still be mum. And because at the end of the day, if I can do anything good, like if I can do one thing good in life, I hope it's that I'm a good parent.
That's a pretty important thing to have up the top of the list.
Yeah, that's what I care about.
Because that is the thing that certainly I define my life by now, is that even though I take my work very seriously, I will just throw it all on a fire to be there for my wife and for my boy.
Yep.
Like, because it just doesn't matter. Like, all this shit I do doesn't matter. Like, it is so irrelevant compared to making sure that they are okay.
Yeah, 100%. And even with my little girl, looking at her now, and she comes out to the events and she's in a little drift t-shirt and a little drift hat and she's collecting stickers. I bought her a Polaroid camera, and her favourite thing is to go take photos of the cars and give them to the drivers.
That's amazing.
And there's some drivers out there that have her little Polaroids on their dashes. And to have her included and to know that she's growing up seeing all these really cool chicks drifting and really cool dudes drifting and all these really nice people around. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. And she's already telling me like, oh, Mum, that your new silver car, that's going to be my race car. Because I'm nearly a teenager now at 8 years old. But that's it. She's like, yeah, that's cool. I want to do that. But she's still her little girly girl self. But she's out there, you know, she's out there laying shit on the drivers, like sassing them. And she's at the events and she calls herself the junior co-organizer.
Junior co... Lofty titles.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Junior co-organizer.
And she, you know, during driver's briefing, she's like, if everyone can stop talking, please. If everyone can pay attention.
Sass.
Yeah. Love it.
Amazing. And like nothing will build confidence like trying to get a bunch of unruly drifting people who can't focus on anything to, you know, focus.
A lot of the boys call me Mum, and I talk to them like they're my children now. I'm like, okay, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes stop.
Mate, I reckon at the next one you just need to drop without even saying anything. Just go 3, 2, 1, shell. I don't know if your school does.
We've had one where someone was getting a bit vocal, and I was like, oh, big feelings, buddy. You want to talk about that?
Oh, you hit him with the big feelings.
Big feelings.
Oh, that's actually fantastic. Because, look, nobody obviously said that to them at a formative time.
But
so,
again, it kind of just like snaps you out of it and goes, oh, you know what? We're here having fun. Why am I getting so serious
that's
about
it. We're all 12 years old between the years, I've noticed. Well, especially us that come and do these things.
Exactly.
Other people pretend to be similar age. I actually saw... I saw somebody that I went to school with has just been appointed King's Counsel, which is like, you know, special lawyering things. And I'm like, I wear Crocs and do skids and go to caravans. Fuck. And it's so funny.
I do burnouts.
I did fucking number 11s. I really laugh and go, I was not built to adult.
Yeah.
I was never built to adult. Adulting blows.
I still text my grandmother after a drift event and she's like, did you win your race, sweetie? Like, yeah.
And you go, I was the sickest grandma.
I wasn't racing anyone, but I still won. But she actually, again, she has a friend at the retirement village that loves Porsches, and her and her husband used to circuit race, so she loves nice cars. So then my grandmother goes and shows her photos of me absolutely, you know, hanging it off the wall in the chaser, and she's like, yeah, this is my granddaughter. She's out racing this weekend.
That's amazing.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
But look, the car people, that's universal.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is. It is the great leveler.
Yeah. Yeah. Brings people together.
It really does.
Sure.
But that's the whole thing. And it's, I guess, why I've even managed to do more than one episode of this thing is like I meet car people, talk to them, and I'm like, new friend. And
you're kind of funny.
And then they're like, you should be my friend. And I'm like, okay. And then I meet the next friend. And they're like, and we just like this is just this big, you know, neurokin spicy ball of cool car people that aren't necessarily comfortable talking, but because I'm a big weirdo, they go, one of us.
One of us.
We just sit and talk car nonsense.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
It's just fun, though, because one of the big things that I thought about all those years ago when I started doing this was who's going to tell these stories? Like, who's going to tell this story? Who's going to ask? Who's going to show this to the world of the cool stuff we do in our backyard? Because as you said, people can name the entire Formula Drift circuit, but where's the Australian stuff?
Yeah.
Where's people talking about cool shit here? Because there is so much cool shit.
And like I was saying...
And we punch so hard.
Yeah.
Like, in the automotive world, like, percentage of GDP, aftermarket automotive, is actually a significant contributor to, like, the Australian economy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're, like... I know Americans love their LSs, but I'm pretty sure we're, like, home to the LS. Like, we don't do things by hops. You look at our burnout guys. Our drag guys.
Like, we lead the world in a heap of these things.
We're just stuck on an island.
Yeah,
We're
stuck on an island.
basically lost.
We are basically lost. It actually explains a lot, doesn't it? A bunch of weirdos doing cool things. But we're not good at promoting ourselves because you're there going, oh, I hope one day I'll be good enough to be on a poster. Like, we're no good because of our tall poppy thing. Whereas other parts of the world, it's like, hell yeah, that's awesome. And that's probably something that I despise, is the idea of tall poppy and people cutting you down. It's
I've
like,
definitely...
get fucked.
Yeah.
Like, just lift people up.
Yep.
You know, somebody else's success doesn't hurt you.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Doesn't make you any less.
My favourite saying is, if one of us makes it to the table, we're all eating.
A rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah, exactly.
Is my personal favourite.
I don't understand tall poppy syndrome.
Not only do I not understand it, I am actively rallying against it because it can get fucked. Like, if you're enough of a loser that thinks that you need to chop people down, you can get fucked.
And I have noticed that, like, that's one thing that some drifters are good at. I'll say some, is keyboard warrior. They love fucking jumping online and having a whinge about something. And regardless if it's an event that they're not even entered in, or again, me on wet pan trying to learn how to just make my car go in a circle. And again, I was on wet pan for a reason. I wasn't trying to enter like D1. But just being like, oh, well, why come here if you can't learn? Like, if you can't skid, it's like, okay, again, where's your car? Or like, you think you can run a sick event in Australia? Okay, do it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah. And that's not me being cocky or being a smart ass, but it's like, I backed myself.
That's
if
the
you
God's
reckon you
honest
can
truth.
do it, do it.
Show me. And
if it's better, sick. We got another cool event to drive.
And I think that that's the best bit. It's why I respect people so much who put the effort in and just do the thing.
Yeah.
I have nothing but respect because I know how hard everything is. You know, trying to be good at anything is extremely difficult. And if you achieve anything, it was fucking hard.
Yeah.
And I really understand that at the stage I'm at of life. You know, anybody who has anything, it has not come to them via good luck. You know, people have worked.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, especially, I feel that so much at the moment with doing the events and trying to be a mom and trying to be a good friend and trying to do all this stuff. I am working my absolute arse off in the background. Whether people see it or not, I know I'm doing it. And that's the thing. It's like, there is so much going on in people's lives in the background that you don't see. And then, I get the tall poppies like, she's just doing this because she's a girl or this and that. And it's like, no, I'm doing it because I fucking can. And I will.
There can be an assumption that things have come easily. And, you turn up here and you've got sick cars in the driveway and you're like, oh, fucking killing it. But, like, this is hard. And it's always hard. And it just...
And then if you turn, like, on the flip side to that, it's like, go back 4 or 5 years. We were homeless. Grant was in ICU on life support. I'm trying to parent a toddler and a disabled toddler and trying to figure it all out. And I was in between jobs because I had to have time off to try and work out whether Grant was going to live or not. And it's like, people will turn around and go, oh, she's got this or he's got that. And we've literally rebuilt everything over the last few years. And I've gotten to the stage where I'm like, you know what? We've got a roof over our heads. The kids have food in their belly. I'm doing good. I'm good. And it's like the appreciation. Like, I'll just come out here and smile because I've got a car. And then I've got another car. And then I was like, I've got a seat time car. Like, that's sick. And if I can share that with people, hell yeah.
It's literally the happy child in us going, I made this. Because that's a hell of a thing. And look, I've heard Grant's story from his perspective. And if you don't mind, like, because I just can't even imagine, like, what the fuck when you got that phone call?
Yeah, so also getting that phone call coming off the back of, the kids had gastro at the time too. So If you've got kids, you know. But I had been up for like 2 days at this stage because they're both just projectile
they're
vomiting
spray
everywhere.
painting
Yeah.
out of both ends.
I was trying to wash all these sheets, and I remember I was laying in bed and I'd just gotten to sleep, and the phone was ringing, and Eva was like, mind you, she was probably 3 at this stage, 3 or 4, and she's like, Mum, Dad was on fire, but I brought him home. And I was like, what? And she's like, Dad was on fire, but I've brought him home. And I was like, what are you on about? And I answer my phone, and they're like, Grant's been in an accident. He's passed because he had died at the scene and he had to be revived. But, like, again, it's all broken information at this stage. And they're like, you need to go to the hospital ASAP. And then his mum's calling and she's like, Grant's been in an accident. It's real bad. You need to get to the hospital. We're coming down from Queensland. And we lived out of town at this stage. So I'm like, holy shit, I've got to pack these 2 kids up. I'm trying to pack a bag. I'm trying to call my parents. My mum wasn't answering. So, because again, she's going through chemo at this stage. And I got onto my dad, and Dad's like, meet me at our house, because to get to the hospital, their house was kind of in between. And to get to their house, I had to drive past the accident, didn't I?
Fuck.
And I was like, okay, it should be okay by this stage. Like, I'm sure, like, his car's probably getting put on a tow truck or something. I'm coming up to it. His car is engulfed in flames. There's emergency crew everywhere. Eva starts screaming, going, there's Dad's car. And I'm like, no, Bob, like, that's not Dad. And she's going, that's Dad. Dad's dead. And I'm like, no, Dad's fine. Yuka's crying. She's screaming. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I did a U-turn on the highway over the grass. And I don't know if anyone knows Ballina, but there's not a lot of ways you can get to Ballina, okay? So Ballina's like an island. There's a couple bridges, or there's a ferry. So I've done a U-turn on the highway, gone out through a heap of cane farms and everything, and taken the ferry across so we didn't have to fully pass, because she's already going, Dad's dead, Dad's car's on fire. And I just keep telling her, I'm like, Dad's fine. No, that's not Dad. And she's like, yes, it is. And I was like, I remember I just pulled up at my parents' house. I can't even remember if I was in my pajamas or not at this stage. And I was just holding Yuka, who's like this little baby. He was maybe 1. And my mum, and just the look on Mum's face running to me to grab the kids. And I think that's when I first went into shock. And then my dad come and put me in the car, and he's like, let's go to the hospital. And again, at this stage, I'm still under the impression that he's dead. And I'm trying to process that while still be like, okay, I've got 2 kids, I've got a house, I've got, like, what is happening? And we get to the hospital, and they're shoving forms in my face of like, you know, do you agree for him to be resuscitated? Do you agree to blood transfusions and this and that and this? And I'm just signing away. They could have put anything in front of me at that stage, and I was signing it. Like, I don't know if I've got a mortgage or not. Like, I've just signed any bit of paper in front of me. And again, no one's really telling me what's going on. And then they've walked me through into this room, and I just, like, there's all these machines hooked up to him. There's blood everywhere. There's, like, because his arm shattered, the dash went through his legs, he got burnt, and his lungs are collapsed, and he's in a neck brace. And I just hear, is that Ally? And I fainted. And then I hear, was that Ally? Because he's like somewhat in and out of consciousness at this stage. And the nurse is just looking at me on the ground. She's like, she'll be fine. Because the nurse is trying to attend to him in emergency. And then, yeah, again, this is during COVID. So I was in there by myself. They wouldn't let Dad come through with me. And then I got to have a little talk to him before he went through to his surgeries, and just, you know, kind of be like, okay, well, because they said to me, there's a lot of damage, like broken ribs, broken sternum, collapsed lungs, a lot of internal bleeding. They're like, we think there's probably upwards of 2 liters of blood in his abdomen at the moment, and we don't know where it's coming from. And again, his arms just minced meat. His knees had been cut through nearly. So I'm just, okay. And I'm processing. And I'm telling him, like, it's going to be okay. And he's like, okay. And then he's gone to sleep. And then I've walked out and I've got his family there. And then, you know, naturally people start saying, like, well, it's an accident, like, what, insurance and this and that. And I was like, I'm trying to fucking process my morning. Like, hold up a minute. And I remember my dad just taking me aside, like, have some water, have some coffee, like, just trying to get stuff into me. And, like, you know, let's go get some food. Because at that moment, I was like, I'm not even thinking about eating. And the next day or so was kind of just a blur for me. Like, I was, again, just trying to process and be at the hospital. And it was really the next few months were like that. And being at COVID, again, I could only go into the hospital by myself. I remember when Grant finally made it out of ICU and onto a ward where he'd be able to see the kids, because I didn't want the kids to see him like that. And I got to the hospital. And again, Yuka was like 1 or 2 at this stage. Eva's 3 or 4. And the COVID inspector at the door goes, oh no, you can only take, there's only 2 visitors allowed at a time. And the nurse looks at him and goes, yeah, so, like, do you want to just go leave the baby in the car? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. And, yeah, it was just, they ended up letting us, like, I was able to take Eva in, take Yuka in. But it was just insane. Like, one of the days he went in for surgery, I remember they called me and said, well, you know, he should be going into recovery soon. You can come up. And the kids were still at daycare at that stage. So I was like, okay, I've got this long before I have to pick him up. I can go up and see him in recovery before he rests for the night. I'm sitting there in the hallway and there's alarms going off and there's nurses rushing around and no one's saying anything. And it was a good hour or so before anyone came out and told me that they're trying to revive him because he's not breathing from surgery. And just sitting there by myself in the hospital because I can't have anyone with me, processing the fact that he's probably dead again. And the nurse just looked at me and just hugged me and sat there hugging me while I bawled my eyes out because I was like, I don't know how to do this. And yeah, it was horrible. And at the stage, I said to Grant's sister, because she said that she wanted to set up a GoFundMe to help us. Because again, at this stage, I'm having time off work while still trying to pay daycare and pay the rent and do all the things. And I said, I can't do a go, like, we can't do that. Like, that's for people that really need help. And she's like, you guys kind of really need help.
Yeah, this is that moment. Like,
yeah. Oh. And, you know, a lot of wonderful people donated. And straight away, I paid 6 months of rent, 6 months of daycare, and that was me sorted. So I knew I could be there. I think, because I used my savings as well. I used every dollar I had to make sure I could be at the hospital as long as it needed and be there for the kids. Because, again, our kids were processing the fact that, like, our daughter knew that that was his car and she was having nightmares because that was another thing that people didn't have to deal with. I had to deal with the nightmares every night as well. And, yeah, like, that was rough. So it's like trying to tell someone, like, yeah, no, Dad's fine. Dad's sweet. Dad is. And in my head, I'm like, he's dead. Like, there is no way he survived that. And
that's something that, again, unless you've seen it.
Yeah, and that's something that still affects her. She has the worst separation anxiety. And even to the fact of, like, certain things really trigger her. So she's triggered by storms. Because, like, I don't know if it's the noise or just the emotions it brings up, but she has to be with one of us during storms because she gets that panicked. And, yeah, that was and like I said, we lost everything at the time because I had to sell stuff. I had to give up everything I could to try and keep everything running and keep it all together. And then the rehabilitation from that. So seeing someone that can, he's very physical, very active, loves just being hands-on, to being bedridden for months on end. And like, I remember there was one stage after the surgeries where he'd been revived and he was in that much pain. He's like, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I don't want to keep doing this. And hearing that from someone and being like, well, you have to, like, you have to be there for us.
Well, that's it. You've made it this far.
Yeah.
If all those fucking things didn't get you.
Yeah. Well, we sass each other about it now, and he goes, well, it was your choice. You could have turned off the life support. And I was like, well, hindsight's a beautiful thing. Right. And although we joke about it now, there's still times where I'll see an ambulance on the highway and I start having a bit of a panic attack, but I'm like, okay, But yeah, that's something that people don't see, was like, we literally lost everything. And we went a long time after that. I had a Yaris with a cracked windscreen and, no aircon, trying to save up money to buy what we have now. And I just made it work.
That's the thing. That is a level of resilience that is hard to explain to an ordinary human being.
And again, during all this time, I'm trying to go through diagnosis with our son, and he's going through surgeries himself. So he had surgeries on his ears because his hearing wasn't adequate for speech development. And again, I'm going through all these appointments by myself, going like, hey, again, I love this child, but I need help because... And so many doctors are going, oh, he's a boy. He'll learn how to talk slower. Like, it'll just take him longer to... boys do stuff in their own time. And it makes you feel guilty because you're almost trying to tell them there's something wrong with this child, but it's like, I don't see it as anything's wrong with him at all. And people go to me, oh, I'm so sorry, it must be so hard with him. And I'm like, what are you sorry about? He's an amazing kid. He is such a loving, happy kid. If anything, I'm jealous of him because he thinks life's amazing. Like, you see the way he sees the world, and he's always happy. And it's like, that's so beautiful.
That's pretty special.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, like, that's something that people don't see.
And I think that these things are so important to understand. Like, the person that you are today, the person that you are who creates these events makes, everything so welcoming. It's a pattern that I've seen over and over again, is people who bring a lot of good to this world tend to have had a pretty rough road. Yeah,
and I think that's like one of my strongest personality traits is whether I'm comfortable or not when I'm doing certain stuff. So like I said, I'm not always the most confident person, and I'm usually pretty happy hanging out in the background, but I want to protect anyone from going through any of the shit stuff that I went through in life. And again, like, my daughter has all these amazing role models now, so she doesn't have to go through the stuff like, again, me trying to think, oh, I had to be a model and going through like eating difficulties because I thought I had to look a certain way, or, and it's, again, like, those poor kids had to deal with me going through all these trying to process all this stuff that's happening, and we're kind of growing up together, and I'm trying to be okay with my brain the way it is and tell them that their brains are beautiful, even though I think I'm defective 90% of the time. That's a hard thing in itself.
It's heavy.
Yeah. And I even said it to someone the other day. I'm like, how am I meant to raise these kids to think that their brains are beautiful when I hate mine?
I think that's the greatest challenge, and my wife calls me out on that because I say terrible things to myself, and I go, geez, why am I such a fucking idiot? Because so many basic things I just cannot do. And she's like, you cannot speak about yourself like that in front of him. You do not want him to learn that. You do not want him to pick that up.
Yeah.
And I have to catch myself because I get so frustrated at myself.
Yeah. And that I do that constantly. And Eva is like copy paste me 100%. And I hear her saying what I've said and I'm like,
And you're like, oh, God.
don't do that.
No, not that one. That's the bad one. That's the one we're trying to keep you away from.
Yeah. Like she'll be like, oh, Mum, I did this picture, but it's not perfect. And she'll scrunch it up and put it in the bin. I'm like, hey, I love that. And like Sakura Days, I know that there was one of the drivers there who is one of the sweetest souls I've met. But she has so much anxiety and she's so scared to fuck up in front of people in case they pick on her or she feels like she's letting people down that have helped her get there. And I'm like, babe, we're all just stoked to see you out there having fun. Whether you're spinning out or you're absolutely killing it, you're out there. Like, that's pretty cool. And then again, my little girl has another girl to look up to.
And go, you are here, you are enough.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, again, drifting, bringing people together.
And teaching them things that they never thought they'd be able to do. And
Yeah.
opening doors to worlds they never thought they could be a part of. And
Yeah. Like I said, even when it comes to me doing my videos, I like showing people the bloopers because there's parts where I'm just walking up and down with the coffee not knowing where I've put anything. But also, that's me to a T.
I think that those are the best bits. I think it's why people like, our mate Al Turbo Yoda, like I think it's why people love him. Is like he just is.
Yeah.
He's not trying to be anyone. He's not trying to be a character. He just is.
Yeah.
And like people really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And they go, oh my God, that people like me.
And I think, like, I know, again, people have said, like, oh, how do you get all that? Like, oh, must be nice. And it's like, oh, if
So
you...
go, fuck. If you knew the price I'd paid.
Yeah, like, I have walked away from everything in my life that many times now, whereas, like, I'm happy without money. I'm happy with money. I know I work hard. And I think that's something that most of my friends can say, or people that know me closely will say, like, they'd never be able to say I haven't earned what I have because they see what happens in the background. They see me up from 4 a.m. till past midnight. Again, I have a video that me and my daughter were making driver's packs all afternoon, and she is there for everything for me. So the fact that I can take her to events is sick. Like, I love that. I love that I've got a little best friend. And I know people say that parents shouldn't be their kids' best friends, but nah, screw it. She is. She's my best friend.
Got to tell you, I feel the same way with my boy. Like, there's still a father element.
Yeah.
And you're still showing the way. But he's my dude. Like, he is my dude.
And we're learning together.
And I think it's magical.
Yeah.
I really think that style of parenting that is one that we are making up because it doesn't exist and everybody tells you not to.
Yeah.
But like, I've got a young man who gets it.
Yeah.
And who understands himself and so, maybe there's some fucking value in being somebody who can provide guidance, but also being warm enough, soft enough, open enough, vulnerable enough to be there for them at their level.
Yeah. And I think that's one of my biggest challenges is I'm not used to being vulnerable. So, like, again, I probably present like I've got it all together. Like, or, yep, I'm confident, I'm doing this. Whereas people don't see, again, the side of things that...
The human shit show.
Yeah. The amount of shit I'm juggling in the background just to get through each day. And it's like... Yeah, it's insane. And again, if it got to the stage where I had to pay for more surgeries or, I'd happily put all of my dreams on hold again for the people that needed it.
Because they just don't matter that much and you can restart them at any time.
Yeah, and I know I can restart. I know I can rebuild. That's...
From anything, with anything, at any time because, mate, resilience.
Yeah, and that's it.
You've learned how to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, find a way.
And that's probably from where I get backing myself so much as well.
Well, there's no way it's going to fail. As we said early, either it'll work or it won't. Like, there's only two possible outcomes.
And you know what? If it fails, it fails. Like, we learn from it and we try it again.
And you let it rip again.
Yeah.
And that attitude is the attitude of people who actually do shit.
Yeah.
Not the people who sit there and throw shade.
Yeah.
They'll never take a risk because they're scared of what other people think.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like, mate, I learned something or it works. They're the only two things.
And like, again, my parents are in their 50s now. Mum's got terminal cancer. She's got brain tumours and lung tumours. And my dad's been having some health issues himself. And they've started going on holidays. And it's like, I don't want to wait till I'm at death's door to start enjoying life. I'd rather just enjoy it now.
Right fucking now.
Yep.
I've been saying this to my wife actually a bit recently. We've had a fair bit of grief going on. And I said to her, the only thing that ever exists is this moment.
Yep.
Like, there's nothing else. Like, anything that you want, anything that you want to be, anything you want to do, like, it's right now.
Yeah.
There's no future. You've got to do it now.
Yep. And also, like, today might be a shit show. You know, you might wake up and everything in your world's turned upside down. But, you know, you're your master of your own fate, right? You can either sit there and dwell on it, or you can just pick yourself up and push through it. And like I said, I thought I was going through it when I was younger, and I've only been tested over and over and over again in life. And my dad's always said to me, life only hands you what you can handle. So it's like, no matter how bad things have felt, I'm like, all right, well, I know I can handle this. And again, here we are now doing cool shit.
And I think this is what separates, is that when you have walked a very difficult path, everything else feels easy.
Yeah.
And that's my comment, is the stuff I do for work and all these things, everything's just comically effortless. Because my actual existence, the actual life, like even today, and to be very open, I think we've lost 3 people in the last 2.5 weeks. My son was hospitalised, my wife was hospitalised, so the idea of me, like when I got up this morning, the idea of coming and talking to somebody, I'm not even in a place where I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
At the moment. But hilariously, I went, you just got to turn up.
Yeah.
You just turn up. The rest will take care of itself. And I just literally put one foot in front of the other, because I know that when I'm with somebody, like, that brings my energy up. I always feel better after I've, like going to the gym. I went to the gym too. Don't know if I felt better, but like...
I went.
And that's actually the victory. The victory is getting out of bed and not pushing the alarm.
Yep.
And I actually put immense value on that, because those things, when you really don't want to, is what ends up making the difference, is that you can keep going even when you're not even sure why you're going.
Yeah. And like, I'm a big believer in, if all you did that day was make it through that day, that's a win.
You fucking nailed it.
Yeah, that's a win.
Yeah, if you're going through shit and you just exist and you just get to the end of the day, that's enough.
I actually have a tattoo across my 2 feet, and it's, I'll make it to the moon if I have to crawl. And it is a note to myself that when I'm down and when I can only look at the ground, I know that I can get through it, because I've made it this far, right?
I'll make it to the moon if I have to crawl. That's fucking beautiful.
No matter how impossible it might seem, I can just get through it. I can make it work. I don't give myself an option to not.
No,
because okay.
No other way.
Yeah. Take it back to Grant's accident. They call. He's dead. Okay, what am I meant to do? I've got 2 sick kids. My washing machine blew up. My cat had a seizure, all in the same kind of month. I bought the kids the cat to help them sleep, because they were having nightmares from Grant's car being on fire, and it had a fucking seizure. And I was like, cool. cool.
They're like, this is a bad joke.
Yeah.
Like, can we sack the writers? This is the worst.
And this
Yeah.
is how I laugh. I was like,
Yeah.
I live my life on hard mode. And I was laughing actually before I came on here. I was like, I don't want to go on just trauma dump. Like,
Nah, man, just fucking let it rip.
but this is the thing, because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Like, I feel like, because when I start talking about my life, people go, oh my God, are you okay?
Nah, man, we're raw
But
as
I was
hell
like, I'm fine, actually. Like,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like,
this
fucking
is
great.
the thing. This is the stuff that I went through. It's like, it's not like I'm making this shit up. Like, it's actually it's probably a sugar-coated version of how it actually felt at the time.
Confident that this is the PG version.
But like, again, taking it back to the hospital, because the nurses are so beautiful and so understanding, I sent them a hamper of like, it was like a morning tea hamper. It had like muffins and fruit and stuff, and they're like, that was so thoughtful. Like, how did, you're sitting there by yourself trying to get through it. And I was like, yeah, but I had a nurse come and hug me to make sure I was okay and hold me while he was being revived.
And they don't need to do that, but because they're a decent human and they saw you suffering and they just helped because it was the right thing to do. They didn't want to see you suffer, I'm sure, as they have suffered.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I can't I don't know what I can do for them. So, like, I know being in that line of work, they probably don't get many breaks and stuff. So if I can give them some food.
Bit of kindness.
Yeah.
Bit of appreciation.
To know that they're appreciated. Yeah. And like, that's exactly why we do charity stuff now. Like, Grant and I have both been heavily involved or like heavily affected, by suicide. So the first charity we did was like $20,000 to men's mental health and suicide prevention through the Shaka Project. So they go out and their basis is to normalize the conversations of, I'm not okay. And like, just normalizing that. Because that's a weird thing to be like, we shouldn't normalize asking for help when we need it. And again, like I said, when Grant's sister said about the GoFundMe, I was like, that's for people that need it. And I was like, yeah, I definitely needed a hand then, but I was too proud to admit it. And then, we did the Huck It In for the homeless, so all the bags for the homeless shelters. And now again, with the teachers that are out there putting their absolute hearts into trying to help these special needs kids find their place in the world. Like, if I can give them some money and have a good day drifting, like, why wouldn't I?
That is living.
Yeah. That's giving back.
But that is giving back, and that is just pure gratitude, that you exist, he exists, your children exist.
Yeah, they're healthy, we've got a roof over our heads, food in our belly. How awesome is that?
Yeah, it's terrifying when you realise that that's winning the game.
Yeah.
Like, you look around and you go, whatever shit I have, like, that's great, but it actually means nothing. Because the fact that I'm okay, we're okay, that's it. Yeah.
I could go into tomorrow again, having none of this, but having a health and, well, like, clearly even without health, it was like still like, well, we're all here.
Yeah, found a way.
Yeah.
And it's not pretty, and it's never pretty. It's always, and I think that's the veneer that I'm uncomfortable with. I'm uncomfortable with the facade of success. I'm uncomfortable with that. I'm uncomfortable with people, just fucking grind 24/7, wear the cool stuff, drive the cool car, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's never that easy.
It's never that. It doesn't look like that. It never looks like that. It looks like eating shit. It looks like crying in a fucking corner. It's getting up when you don't want to. It's having to explain to your children something horrific that, leaves lingering. Like, all of it is untidy.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of people pretending that it's not. I'm sick of people thinking.
Well, this is what I say about social media. Social media is a highlight reel.
Yeah,
right?
man, that's the fucking best. That's the best 1 second of my week.
Yeah.
Like, Gibbo spent some time with me in Japan, and he saw firsthand that I'm a fucking human shit show. I say to him, the fact that I've ever achieved anything is astonishing to me, especially.
I find I've been called out by this by a good friend of mine. One of my worst habits is a lot of people say to me like, "Oh, I don't know how I don't know how you do it all. I don't know how you fit it all into one day. I don't know how you juggle it all." And I just go, "Oh, I don't know either."
Self-loathing.
Yeah. So I was just going, "Oh, I don't know either. I just do it." But then my friend called me out and said, "You know exactly how you do it. You just lock in and you do it. Like, don't undersell yourself with that." And I was like, "Yeah, but like no one wants to hear that, right?"
I do. I think it's really fucking important because I'm sick of pretending. And like not pretending is the best because I just don't care. I just couldn't care less anymore. And like people either dig your vibe or they don't.
Yeah.
Is what I've found.
Yeah.
And if they're not comfortable with all of it, tough.
Yep. And that's what I thought with a lot of my stuff. I was like, well, you know what? I might be, one of the first people doing this, or I might be the one that's going to cop the brunt of it. And I'm okay with that. Like, I am fine. I can deal with it. And I'll carry the weight for all the other girls coming up, all the other learners driving up. Like, I've been there. I've done it. I know I can do it again. If I can create a better future for them and for people like our kids coming through, more inclusive space, where communication isn't like anyone can be involved.
Well, that's it. You're not told to shut up and do it this way.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane, stay in your box.
Exactly. And just create a better environment. Like, yeah, I don't care. I'll face anything I have to provide a better space for them.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because that's honestly my biggest thing is if I can make any sort of path for people growing up to not have one fraction of the life that I've experienced.
Yeah.
So much of it I've done so horribly wrong, and it took the best part of 40 odd years to even figure out what the fuck was going on. And I just wish it hadn't taken me that long. And so now I just want to, be weird, as loud and proud as I can, and go, just fucking be you. Whatever that looks like, fuck what everybody else says, you do you, and you do it to the best of your ability, and you'll probably do something special.
Yeah, 100%. I'm the same. And it's like, yeah, you've nailed it. If I can protect them from going through anything I had to, sweet.
I just don't want them to feel stupid.
So I have a rule in our house. We don't call things stupid. We don't say dumb. And also we don't use the word hate. I say to the kids all the time, you can strongly dislike something, but we don't use the word hate. And I said, but equally, we don't say that we love everything. We can really like it, but they're words that you don't use lightly, and they're words that you're intentional when you use them. But I said, because how would you like if someone just, they're having a bad day, I hate you. They might say it in a one-off passing. It's like, you could ruin someone's day with that. You'll never know. So we don't say it. You're allowed to strongly dislike it, but you don't hate it.
Because you don't want to carry that energy.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to carry that. You want to try and, again, just bring good into other people you encounter in their day. Try and lift it.
Yeah, and just make people aware that their words should be intentional. Like, you don't just cut a random down on the internet because, why not? Or, like, your words are going to affect someone again.
Well, your words matter.
Yeah.
And this is the big thing. Again, you in that drift car, Levi coming up to you. All these things that happen, moments in time that have been pivotal, where you didn't believe in yourself, but somebody gave you a kind word and it helped.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I know there'd be people in my family probably shocked at me saying that, because that's not a story that I often say to people. But It's the truth. I was sitting in that car ready to give up that night because I just was going through it.
Well, that's it. Like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
if this is what it's always going to be like,
What's the point?
if it's always this, if it's always a fucking uphill battle, there's
And
always...
all it took was one person to show a small amount of kindness.
And that, it's my only hope for my son, is that he is that sort of human. The end. I don't give a fuck what else he does. Like, because if you are a good, intentional, kind human, I actually can't see how you can fuck up life.
One of my proudest moments was watching my daughter at a sports carnival, and one of her friends didn't do as good in her race, and she sat down on the ground and started crying, beating herself up. This is an 8-year-old we are talking about. This is how much pressure the kids are already putting on themselves. And my daughter ran over, got this little girl's drink bottle, took her the drink bottle, gave her a water and just hugged her. And I was so proud. Seeing her have that much empathy and compassion for one of her little friends was honestly beautiful as a parent to see.
And that is winning at parenting. I look at the pissing contests of parenting and... Mate, I just want my boy to fucking out-kind all the other kids. I want him to be the kindest little dude.
You be so kind.
Yeah, you be so fucking kind. Like,
I get so impressed by my daughter's ability to set boundaries. I love that so much about her. Like, she'll often say to me, she'll be like, I'm not going to do that because, you know, she'll always have a really good reason to. I'll be like, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm reading my book and this is more enjoyable at the time. Or something like that. I'll do it after.
How magically intentional.
And it's just like, okay, kind of a dick move, but fair point.
Like, you've stitched me up, but you've stitched me up with my own rules, and I respect that.
Yeah. Oh, and she's the first person to call me out and be like, Mum, we don't do that. Mum, we don't say that. And I'm like, yep.
You
fair.
got me there, you little bugger.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But again, she is everything that I wished I could have been.
And that's special.
Yeah.
Like, this is how people go, how do you make the world better? I reckon it's this.
Yeah.
Because old dog, new tricks, all those sorts of things. But there is a whole generation of kids being raised different.
Yeah.
And being raised better and being raised thoughtfully and with intention and not just under tyrants of fear. They are being thought, you know, they can respect themselves, they can respect others, they understand that they're not there to be commanded. The old, children must be seen but not heard. Fuck off.
Yeah,
like, that didn't
let
work
them
well.
be kids.
Yeah, there was a couple of decades of pedos that were really grateful for that. Like, no. You know, you created these humans. Why not try to make them into excellent humans?
Yeah.
We know a lot more now than we did. We know that those things are pretty fucked.
Our
Let's
whole-
try something different.
The whole purpose of us is to enjoy life's experiences, right? To enjoy this.
Ride the roller coaster.
Yeah. Why are we doing stuff that makes us sad or miserable?
I'm yet to find a reason, which is why I'm 45 and act like a child.
Yeah. Never too late to start, though.
It's fucking great. Like, if you are not doing things that don't fill you with great joy, what are you doing and what are you showing your kids?
Yeah. Yeah, you're just showing them what to put up with.
And that, you know, that world is gone.
Yeah.
You know, that be loyal to a company, do the thing, live the life, white picket fence, etc.
Yeah.
That's all gone.
Yeah.
Like that, and that was a lie anyway.
I had a manager at one stage when I was a mechanic walk in and say to all the mechanics, look, if you just don't like how I run something, leave. I'll have you replaced by lunchtime. And I was like, sweet. I see what I mean to the company.
Correct.
Yeah.
And no matter what a company tells you, that is what you mean. You
We're-
are replaceable.
We're a family.
You're a family. Fucking run away.
That means I'm not going to respect your boundaries.
Correct. Yes, that basically means it'll probably be an abusive workplace.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. we're going to ask way too much and
That is the reddest
not
of the red
actually
flags.
give you anything in
And
return.
treat you like shit and underpay you and abuse you. Family. You're like, no.
You know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll go back to nothing again.
Fucking oath. I've said that to my wife more than once. I said, I'd rather be homeless than work with fuckheads.
Control Alt Delete.
Mate, Control Alt Delete, start that bad boy again. Yeah. Because, like, you meet good humans, then you do good things, and then more good things happen.
Yeah.
It's this magical recipe that I've discovered.
Yeah.
Is like, be good, do good, more
it's
good
so
happens.
crazy.
And
You surround yourself with good people
So
and you
weird.
feel good.
Yeah.
Wild.
And they're like, hey, I can help with that. And then they actually help. And not just like backstab you and do bad things. Like actually help. And it's like, oh God, how can I repay you? They're like, don't worry about it. And then when you see something for them, you go, hey, I was thinking about you guys because you're fucking legends. Let me help you with this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Exactly. Like, I just got to witness one of my friends have, like, I wasn't there when she had the baby, but I got to be there during her pregnancy and stuff. And because, again, I had no family up here with my pregnancies and stuff. And I'm not going to lie, I was shocked. I had no experience with babies before I had them. So I was like, what? I didn't even know there was a thing called gestational diabetes until I got it. I was like, what do you mean I have diabetes now? Yeah, because again, most of my friends were male.
Surprise, motherfucker. And you're there going, mate, they really need instruction manuals with these things.
I went to the hospital and being spicy brained, I've got a pretty high pain tolerance. And I was like, hey, I'm in a fair bit of pain. And the nurses were like, nah, this is your first baby. It'll be ages. Turned out I was in full active labour. And they were, because I wasn't crying and carrying on, I just kept throwing up and I was like, nah. And I said to Grant at one stage, I was like, dude, if this isn't labour, we're fucked up. Like, no one has prepared. I didn't know what I was having either because I was just happy to be having a kid. And I was like, we're in danger. I can't do much more of this. This is painful. Because I was asking for the epidural and they're like, no, not yet. And then the nurse looked at it and she was like, oh, I can see the baby. We need to get going. And I was like, can I still have the drugs? And they're like, no. And I was like,
too late. You're like,
yeah. And then they're like, yeah, you did it drug free. And I was like, not by choice.
Okay.
I wanted them. I asked. You said no.
Help. Oh.
But I got to be there while my friend was going through all this. And I was like, I know what you need. I'll get you snacks. I loaded her fridge up with meals for when she got home so she didn't have to worry about cooking because who wants to try and think about cooking when you're trying to adjust?
And you're trying to sleep in 12
and you've got a toddler
increments.
And you've got a newborn crying and your toddler
and
wants
then they
more
won't
attention.
attach or something else and you're there going, oh, God.
And the doctors are going, you need to be able to breastfeed because you're a woman and you're going, I just want this baby to stop crying.
They're like, you can't feed them formula, then they'll be this, that, and they're like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like, just whatever, mate.
Even when I had Eva, I was trying so hard to breastfeed and I felt like a failure because I had an oversupply of milk. So she was drinking all the first bit of the milk that's like the watery bit and she wasn't getting enough from the other bit that actually fills her up. So she was spewing heaps. So then, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And it took one male nurse to come in and go, give her a bottle. And I was like, but, they told me that. And he's like, he said to me, he's like, I've been in, because he was a military doctor at one stage. He was like, I've been to parts of the world where I've had to feed babies condensed milk out of a glove. Give her a bottle. I gave her a bottle. It was the best thing I ever did. I could have a sleep while Grant fed the baby.
Ta-da! Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
We don't have to suffer, but we're somehow put on a pedestal where we must do this under all circumstances.
Yeah, saying to my friend, like, hey, if it doesn't work...
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Just give the baby a bottle.
I'll be fucking right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And just being able to, be that support for someone else.
Because nobody tells you. We live this entire existence where millions and millions of people go through this and nobody fucking talks about it. And you're there, and then you get there and again, surprise, motherfucker. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How has nobody ever spoken about this?
I will be the voice for anyone who needs it. And I always say this, with my son being nonverbal, I am his biggest voice. I will scream at the top of my lungs for that kid. And I will always push for people's rights, for whatever they need. Because I know what it feels like to not have that voice, or to be that person that's sitting there confused, not knowing what you're doing wrong.
And to be ignored
Yeah.
repeatedly when you're like, no, there's definitely something here.
Yeah.
For so many things.
Yeah.
So many times. And now you just go, no.
Yeah.
Try again.
I'm not taking that for an answer.
You are.
Yeah.
Odds
exactly.
are you're wrong.
Yeah.
Go. Don't know how to tell you that with your fancy degrees, but I've been ignored so many times and always been right. Have another go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's just with everything. Like I said, when it came to events with the girls, like, oh, I'm too scared to try this. All right, well, I'll give you a platform where you can do it. Whether it comes out of my own pocket or not, like, I'll make it happen.
Mate, you are bringing great things to this world.
Trying to.
No, not trying. You've also got to learn to accept the compliment.
That's a hard one.
Oh, I know. That's why I called you out on it. And we've totally got to get you a poster. That has to happen. Because you got the cool sticker, but, you need the poster as well.
Well, actually, one of the photographers that came to, well, two of them worked on it, but that came to Sakura Days made me a photo book and gave it to me at Matsuri. And I cried because I got to come home and show my parents what I'd done.
That's so awesome.
And, like, my dad, loves hearing all about it. Mum gets a bit worried. She usually only wants to hear about when I'm home safe. Up until, even still, Dad will look at this car and go, oh, it's a nice little car, darling. It's a nice little car. And I was like, it is a fine piece of engineering equipment, Father.
Okay. That's some boomer talk right there. Milk and juice comes in 2 litres. Get out.
Dad actually heard my last podcast and he was like, I'm proud of you, darling. And I was like, yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So I know there's a lot of stuff that he wanted to do in life that now I'm putting my foot down and doing, and I know he's proud of me for it. And I know it was really hard for my parents watching me get up and leave my whole family, and my mum was so worried about me moving away from everyone. But Dad just said, I think it's for the best, and I think that that's going to open up more opportunities than what you'll get here.
Spot on.
Yeah. And he was right, but...
But he gave you the nudge and said, no, you got this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The constant themes through a person's life I also find astonishing. Just that need to be that voice there to go, no, you got this. Like, you should try. And
yeah, exactly.
I think it's really special.
A little bit of an encouragement, and then if I do a little bit of encouragement to the next generation, and then again, just keeps going down the line.
That's it. Just be the person you always needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Ally, with all the cool stuff you've got happening, how can people follow, find out, learn, get involved, sponsor? How does this all happen?
So I've got my main platform on Instagram, which is at Ally Mayhem, or at Ally_Mayhem. I've got a Sakura Days platform too, so that's Sakura Days on Instagram. And I will be doing a link tree with an email, because I know that not a lot of people like Instagram, but I've got YouTube and TikTok as well. But I've also got my email address too, if they want to email. But yeah, they're where I post most of my build threads, my girls' days. I also share about the Drift Outlaws and the charity days, because I do a lot of content, not just of me. I happily go and just film my friends drifting and stuff as well. And I've made lots of videos for everyone. I'm sure people probably get sick of me posting so much, but I just get so proud of all my friends as well.
Hell yeah.
And there's, videos of me at events hanging out my window clapping for the girls, or all my friends coming off track. But again, just Ally Mayhem.
Well, Ally, I'll put links to all of that. But I wanted to say a very sincere thank you for making time for us to, welcome you to your home and to share.
And thank you for getting up and showing up.
Mate, it's what we do. One foot in front of the other.
Exactly.
No, but really appreciate you and appreciate everything that you are doing, for your family, for the community, for motorsport. Like, it's really appreciated. The way that you and Grant do what you do, and the way that you are just going, nah, we're doing it this way and we're making it better. Like, it is appreciated.
Well, thank you.
So, well, look, we'll share all the links. So, Ally, thank you once again. And we'll, wrap this up and let you get back to all the adult jobs.
Yeah, hopefully everyone could follow along my side quests.
Oh, absolutely. Mate, side quests are the fucking best. Like, that's absolutely what we need. All right. We'll leave it there. But, Ally, thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you that made it all the way to the end, thank you for joining us on the All Red Everything podcast. And above all else, be kind to yourself. Catch you next time.